Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Effingham County Fair. We're at the Mark Red Phillips Memorial Racetrack here in Altamont, Illinois, for racing today on this half-mile track. David Brink, Steve Surratt, Lisa Surratt running camera for you today as we're up here and set up. 9 races on the card for you today, so we'll be done about 2:30. And David, cooler than yesterday.
Yeah, you know, the later it gets in the day, the more the sun has to heat up the air, and so getting the early start at 11:30 right here, it's going to get hot today. There's going to be heat advisory out there, but right now we have a breeze, we have some shade, and we're going to survive.
Absolutely. You were up there where Lisa is. She's got a nice cross breeze, you said, going up.
Well, if you look at that, that's a big old grandstand, and about half the patrons are already sitting in that top row where the breeze is catching them, so I think they all have the same idea.
Absolutely. As we get ready for this today, we want to thank you for being on the broadcast with us. Let's let you know where we're going to be the rest of this week. We're back here at Altamont for noon tomorrow.
Yeah.
And there'll be 9 more races on the card for you for that. Then we'll be at Charleston tomorrow night. That'll be an 8-race card for us tomorrow night. Back to Altamont on Thursday, and I believe that is
6 races, yeah.
6 races. And then Charleston back on Friday. And do we know how many races are there yet?
I just saw on Facebook that Stacy DeRoots was asking for some top-line horses, so I think the draw has closed, but they're still trying to figure out if they can get these races separated or whatnot. So that'll be coming out shortly.
All right, then to Mount Sterling, Saturday and Sunday, 2 p.m. post times on those races. In particular, Sunday is the Downstate Classic for 2-year-olds, about $100,000 worth of prize money involved in that. We did the 3-year-olds in Decatur a few weeks back, and that is a big day of racing in Brown County.
It's always exciting to see the best in the state show up, and we're even privileged to have them on our home track there in Mount Sterling. But yeah, going to have the best horses in the state competing for like Steve was saying, almost $100,000 plus of prize money put up by the IDOA, Department of Ag. So should be a real exciting day of racing. If you're free this Sunday, 2 o'clock.
Right now, just 22 minutes until post time for the first of our 9 harness races on this Tuesday at the Effingham County Fair. A reminder, programs are on sale. The Altamont Lions Club has a booth located just below the grandstand. Make sure to buy a copy of the track program because it comes complete with a pick-a-winner entry form. We're going to get everything set up here on the infield judges stand and get prepared to give you the early scratches and driver changes in just a few moments.
All right, we can go ahead and go back. We want to remind people, if you're not on our advertising this year, we definitely would like for you to consider us in 2026. That keeps this broadcast free to the people out there watching it, and wide spectrum of people. If you're a company doing some national work, I mean, Time Will Tile, ADI is with us. They sell throughout the whole country. They do tiling throughout. What we saw, a crew was down in Texas not that long ago.
They do field tile and municipal drainage and all that kind of good stuff. And another local one I stopped to get gas. I saw a land guy's office there in Springfield, so we need to hit them up again. I think I need to send an email over there because, we have a wide breadth as far as area we cover and types of viewers we have all across the country. So if you have a business, you want to advertise, we get about 1,000 plus 2,000 views a fair, it seems like. So if plenty of eyeballs out there viewing this, if you have any desire to do some advertising, we'd love to have you aboard. If you don't have a business or a desire to advertise, we'd sure appreciate a donation either way.
Absolutely. Are you doing business with a company that sells horse trailers?
Yeah,
this
or
is
trucks.
The perfect market. We've got Kerr Auction. They do auctions live nationwide and on an app where you can do things. There's a lot of our companies that do. If you're looking to get in the horse business, we have several people that are horse breeders or trainers that do business with us. They'd love to talk with you about getting into the business.
Absolutely. And we'd love to have some of those breeders. If you're out there, we advertise, sales season's coming right up. If you have a consignment, some horses you have for sale at the Illini Classic or whatnot, we'd love to offer some advertising for you there, maybe get your horses put in the program for next year or whatnot. But definitely keep that in the back of your mind as something potential. We can get you pretty reasonable advertising rates for a lot of horse eyeballs and potential buyers.
Yeah, we had 26 dates on the books when we started the year due to rainouts, combinations, and so
I think
forth.
We're going to get 25 if we don't miss any more, right? We combined Decatur, and that was it.
Yep, I think.
Or is there another rainout? Either way, we're going to have over 23 or 4 anyway. But a nice schedule here in 2025, in our third season at Harness Tube, where we keep adding on as many as we can and having a ball doing it. Love seeing fairs we've never been to before. I've never been to before. You probably have been to a lot of these fairs, but it's good finding these new gems in the rough.
All right, with that, we'll take a quick commercial break. We'll be back after these messages.
Avenatti Racing, a third-generation, family-run stable with a legacy of excellence. Centrally located between Illinois, Indiana, and Kentucky racing programs, Avenatti Racing specializes in buying yearlings, breaking, training, and racing top-performing standardbreds. Call 217-840-6469 or email avenattiracing@gmail.com today. Avenatti Racing, from yearling to racetrack, we build contenders.
Looking to move your mobile home? Need a roll-off dumpster at a competitive rate? Or maybe it's time to demo that old mobile home? Pine Ridge Mobile Home Transport has you covered. We serve Central Illinois with reliable mobile home transport, offer affordable roll-off dumpsters for the Springfield area, and provide expert demolition services across Illinois and Missouri. For fast, friendly service, call Wayne Decker at 217-313-9744. That's 217-313-9744. Or find Pine Ridge Mobile Home Transport on Facebook, your one-stop solution for mobile home services.
Wait, before you go and get your snacks and drinks, make sure to subscribe and like to Harness Tube. If you can't do that, just give us a thumbs up. Alright, to the show.
That is in the sixth race, number 2.
We're getting some changes here, but want to we'll give those.
My 409. That's the sixth race, scratch number 3. My 409. Reason listed by the trainer, personal. Seventh race. Driver change on the 1, Bourbon Hannah. That'll be Freddie Patton Jr. Seventh race, number 1, Bourbon Hannah. Make the driver Freddie Patton Jr. Eighth race. Driver change on number 3, Rock On Big Star. That'll be Jordan Patton. That's the 8th race. Driver change, number 3, Rock On Big Star, Jordan Patton, the driver. Ninth and final race. The driver of the 4, Fox Valley Quest, has been changed. It'll be Wyatt Avenatti. That's the 9th and final race. Driver of the 4, Fox Valley Quest, Wyatt Avenatti. Those are the current program changes, and again, we'll update those as we move through today's card. Currently 16 minutes from post time, still just a few minutes from our pre-race ceremonies. We'll get to that in just a moment. And as always, a lot will be happening in the grandstand here today. Scott, are you good to go? Very good. Let's check in with our Master of Ceremonies, Scott Beal.
All right, let's talk a little bit about the backstretch, David.
Yes. We'd love to hear from our fans and all of our viewers out there. We want to engage with you. Let us know kind of some favorite stories or memories or suggestions for Harness Tube. The one we have on the screen now is, what's your favorite county fair in Illinois and why? We want to hear what makes it so great. We want to hear all those little gems about every fair out there, what they do better than everybody else, kind of the little secret spots or traditions that they all have. Share it in the chat. Send us an email. Send us a Facebook message or text, whatever you have. We'd love to get those shout-outs and memories on the air for all of our fans to view.
Well, I'm going to throw a new question out there today, David.
Yeah, please.
Because that was from yesterday. Drivers, trainers, and owners, what is your favorite county fair racetrack? Everybody's got their favorite, okay? the place that if there's racing going on, you're sending horses because you love this track and you love how your horses react on this track.
I tell you what, that's a great idea. If you're listening there, chat, send in some ideas. I have a couple ideas of what I think will be our top contenders. When I get about the 4 leaders, I think I'll put them in a poll in the YouTube chat and let the fans vote over the course of the card and see where it ends up. That might be a fun little.
And again, the qualifier, County Fair.
County Fair
not
track.
Not DeCoin, not Springfield.
Yep, not a state fair, a county fair track. We want to hear about these half-mile ovals out here dispersed across the state of Illinois. What's your favorite surface? It doesn't have to be the fastest. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. I think Mount Sterling holds the record in Illinois, 51-1, but some of these other tracks are just as charming with just as much tradition and rich history. We want to hear about all of them and why. Drop it in the chat, and we'll get that going for you.
Okay, and then I've got another one on tracks later
that
I'll either give tonight or later today. We can do both of these tonight or tomorrow. So, as we get ready here for the Effingham County Fair, 9 races on board, we want to thank our donors, David. We can't keep this free without our advertisers and our donors.
In this idea, we started with the idea of filling the time between races with advertising, but the donors have proven me wrong. The donors have proven they like our banter. They like coming up out of their own pocket just to hearing us talk about goofy stuff on the air, but it's entertaining. It's fun. We get the guest picks in there. We get the shout-outs in there. The donors have been telling us loud and clear what they want, and we appreciate all their donations and all their support.
Well, David, on what is it? We talked about we can't do Friday because you're announcing Friday.
That is correct.
That is true. We might on Thursday of this week.
Okay.
It might be a little switcheroo going on.
Yes.
It might be David on the camera, and you get to listen to Lisa and I banter. We get comments back home about we love YouTube bantering back and forth.
Well, it'll be interesting to hear you guys go through a broadcasting and what comes to your mind, where your mind goes, where her mind goes, and what comes out of your mouth of what your thoughts are in races. And, because we have a cadence and a rhythm. I can predict kind of where we're going to go, but with you two, that's gone. You guys are free out in the middle of the ocean by yourself swimming. So. Yeah,
it's kind of nice when David's gone. I get to see what's on that side and learn what that side's about. And so. I left the other day. He got a little note of what it's like to do everything. Jackie does, David's mom does some camera work for us, but it's really good to get behind the camera. The camera is one place. I don't care if it's a sporting event or ever. I stay totally away from.
It's not as easy as it looks. It really isn't. And there's a lot of variables that come into play and things that people don't really think about. There's a nice catwalk here at Effingham County in Altamont we talked about using. I was going to climb up there and drag there's a crane even to get the equipment up there. They use it for spotlights for their concerts and whatnot. But the more we analyzed it and looked at it, we might get a better shot of going to the quarter pole or coming out of the first turn. But really flipping that camera angle right underneath the finish line would have made it too difficult to catch, accurate finishes. So, little things like that, they tend to be kind of forgotten ideas, but camera work is harder than it seems. It really, really is.
Well, last night Lisa was struggling with getting to a wide-angle view to get the field because of the obstruction. She's trying to work through the obstructions and get.
When you have a field strung out and things you're working around, you kind of, you have to kind of commit to how wide you're shooting and who you're going to get and who you're not going to get, and just kind of, leave some people out because it's just the nature of it. You can only see so much, and sometimes the horses get spread out a little bit.
Okay. I don't know if my wife's going to try to call me here in a minute or.
Ladies and gentlemen, again,
that's the photo finish setting up over there. I think we'll probably
County Fair, as Scott mentioned, day 3 of our 6-day harness racing meet. Good to have you with us. At this time, we ask that you would please rise as you are able for our pre-race ceremonies. Here to give the invocation, our chaplain, Reverend Leroy Tucker.
Let us pray. Our most wonderful and gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for the fine weather we're having. We thank you for all who's come out to the races and support the Effingham County Fair. Bless all those who are here. May they all be safe. Keep all the animals safe. And your will be done. For in the name of Jesus Christ, I pray to God the Father by the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain. We now ask that you would remain standing, ladies and gentlemen. Veterans render a hand salute here to present our national anthem. Effingham native Holly Adams.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets like glare, the bolts bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Holly Adams, native of Effingham, now makes her home with her family in Mason. Holly, terrific job. And with that rendition of our national anthem, we are one step closer to going racing here today. Of course, Holly is also a branch manager with First Mid Bank and Trust, one of our blanket sponsors here this afternoon. Once again, we welcome you. Day 3 of harness racing at the 81st Effingham County Fair. A reminder that this is the 17th of the 27 stops on the 2025 statewide Illinois County Fair harness racing circuit. The Illinois Standardbred Association ISA Stakes, which have succeeded the Big Ten Colt Stakes on our harness racing card. ISA races featured throughout the course of today's program. Live coverage of today's races provided on WKJT 102.3 FM Effingham. Greg Sapp and George Flexter anchor the broadcast. You may also listen on the KJ Country app as well as at kjcountry.com. Today's races are also being streamed live on HarnessTube. You can find their broadcast at youtube.com. Simply enter HarnessTube in the search field to find their channel. Steve Surratt, David Brink anchor the broadcast. The video technician is Lisa Surratt. Let's check in right now back at the grandstand once again with Scott Beal.
Thank you very much, Kurt. Well, David, again, we were talking about our donors before Kurt came back in there in the Star Spangled Banner and so forth. Really happy about that. I'm going to go to a quick commercial break. We'll be back.
Make plans now to attend the 27th Annual Illini Classic Yearling Sale, which takes place on Labor Day at the Illinois State Fairgrounds in Springfield. Once again this year, the catalog will offer not only a strong lineup of Illinois-conceived and foaled yearlings, but also an excellent supporting cast of colts and fillies eligible to other state-bred programs in the Midwest and on the Eastern Seaboard. It's the Illini Classic Yearling Sale, Monday, September 1st, beginning at 11 a.m. Central.
Kerr Auction is your trusted source for ag equipment, attachments, construction gear, trucks, trailers, and hard-to-find parts. With live and online auctions at kerrauction.com, you can bid from anywhere, field, job site, or front porch. From big equipment to small parts. If you need it, Kerr Auction has it. Don't miss your next deal. Check out kerrauction.com today. Kerr Auction, built for the working world.
2024 Illinois County Fair Training Champion. Kev Miller's horses are built to win, and it all starts here. Ready to join a winning team? Call Kev at 217-254-0170 or send a message to the email address on the screen to learn more. Kev Miller Stables. Train to win.
Okay, David. We'll just go back to Kurt.
With Judy, and they determined that Harold Finn has 15 points, and Darla Martin Lohman, second in the standings. She has 12 points as we get ready to start today's card. Also want to mention the fact that we have a number of horsemen racing here this week who are related sons, grandsons, nephews, great-nephews, and so forth of a trainer, driver from Mississippi by the name of Freddie Patton Sr., and Mr. Patton passed away a few weeks ago at the age of 84, and we just wanted to take a moment and extend our belated condolences to all of the members of the Freddie Patton Sr. family, as Mr. Patton was someone who raced with us here at the Effingham County Fair as a trainer and a driver, going back probably to the late 80s to early 90s, I would guess, was probably the first year that he made the journey from his home in Mississippi, from Clinton, Mississippi, 800 miles. He came up here to race with us, and the Patton family has raced with us ever since. So belated condolences to the family of Freddie Patton Sr. Horsemen, you may come to the track for today's first race. And we start with a bang.
Yoder Custom Woodworking was started in 1995 by the Yoder family as a retail Amish furniture store in Sullivan, Illinois. They offer custom kitchen cabinets, granite and quartz countertops, built-in office and bathroom cabinetry, and offer a wide range of Amish furniture. Their store is located at 1117 West Jackson Street in Sullivan, Illinois, with store hours Tuesday through Friday 9 to 4:30 and Saturday 9 to 3. For more information, contact Yoder Custom Woodworking at 217-728-2166.
Do you like to watch horse racing?
Yeah.
Do you not want to pay money for a stupid horse racing channel?
Yeah.
Are you sadly allergic to horses and you can't see them?
Yeah.
Well, introducing Harness Tube, established 2023.
Hey, I need to try this out.
You can watch it at your son's ball game.
Let's go, son.
You can watch it while eating. Last but not least, you can watch it while you're sleeping.
Yay, my horse won. Now, everybody, make sure you like and subscribe to Harness Tube and keep the notifications on for more Harness Tube streams or future videos or future posts. Anything that I care for. Anything at all. Even if it's just like a 1-second video of a horse doing a backflip. I don't know. But you get the point. So, I hope this video is very informational. And thank you for watching. Peace out.
David, we'll come back here. I think we got one commercial break maybe before we go to this first race in the picks here. We'll have them up. 9 races for you today. Nice cool breeze here. Folks, if I was going to come watch a harness race and spend the day in the heat, this would be the place I would be.
It's a nice grandstand, and if you like the banter, the dialogue between races, it's so great to come out here to Effingham. They have an MC in the grandstand. Scott Beals does a great job, and the whole crowd for the whole week gets entertained. For a couple hours every day. It's really a good place to watch horse races. It's not us, is it?
Got a radio interfering with our broadcast. So. Going to interfere more with Kurt's discussion than ours, but no, we don't have a commercial break.
Okay.
I'm going to leave that off for right now. As long as he's talking back to the horsemen, we're getting a buzz. So, David, let's talk about our picks and so forth here in this first race.
Sure. Looking at today's first race, this is the combined filly and colt trot for the Illinois Standardbred Association, a combined purse of $5,197. I'm using the one horse here, Wyatt and Dave Avenatti, Shady Maple Caddy from the rail. This horse hasn't missed the board in its young career. 2-year-old black fillies, 9 starts, 5 wins, 2 seconds, 2/3. It's just too much to overlook here on top. My second choice was the 4, Zoomster for Danny Gardner. And my third choice was the 5, Hatari for Clay Simpson. Where are the Surratts at? Similar? Yeah, kind of.
Similar. Yeah, 1, 4, 2 for us. We went with a 2 horse in that third spot.
So you guys have seen Jerome a little more than Clay, huh? So you're a little more to that.
Yeah, probably that's probably one of the biggest things there, and it's tough sometimes picking that third horse in the batch.
It is, especially when we get to these younger horses. There's horses who haven't started as much as horses who get an early start. They have more under their belt. We can kind of gauge them better. But there's some very talented horses right now who are just making their season start and getting their legs underneath them. So, that's not to say that you can disqualify them just because they don't show anything on the page. It's just kind of tough for us to separate and sift out. But, I think this is a nice competitive race. Six young trotters going for a nice purse. There should be a competitive. The driver shouldn't be getting anybody any inches out here going for that kind of money. So, but that being said, we are 2-year-old trotters. There's only so much room you can give without keeping everybody safe, which is the first and foremost priority. I hear a call to post.
I hear a call to post. We'll go to Kurt.
What's your post time temperature going to be? Post time temperature for our first race, 88 degrees with a feels like temperature of 101. Good to have you with us on another hot, sweltering summer afternoon here in late July at the Effingham County Fair. Race 1, the Illinois Standardbred Association 2-year-old filly and colt and gelding trot. No changes in the first race are thanks to Ring Financial, as they are the presenting sponsor for today's opening event. The second blanket they have already presented this week. Number 1 is Shady Maple Caddy, owned and trained by David Avenatti of Chrisman, Emma Schrock of Sydney, Kevin Neatfeld of Piatone, trained by David Avenatti. Wyatt Avenatti is in the bike. 2 is April Lady, the owner, trainer, driver Jerome Daniels out of Springfield. 3, Zamboni, owned by Dennis Gardner of West Salem. He's the trainer. The driver is Frank Fisher. Number 4, Zoomster, owned, trained, and driven by Dennis Gardner of West Salem. 5 is Hatari, owned by Dr. Pat Graham of Lock Ridge, Iowa, trained and also driven by Clay Simpson, who comes to us out of Fairfield, Illinois. And number 6, Winning Ken, owned by Earl Avenatti of Clinton, Indiana, co-owned by Malda Horn, also of Clinton, Indiana, trained by Mr. Avenatti, 85 years of age and still going to the barn every day. Matt Avenatti, his grandson, is in the race bike. They're approaching the starting gate. Had a couple of you make a good point after the races yesterday, saying, you wonder how the temperature would have changed for the first race had we been under our former system of a post time of 1 p.m., and I believe somebody said they actually checked, and at 1 o'clock, the temperature had risen to 91 degrees. So moving up an hour earlier this year to the 12 noon post time has reduced maybe just slightly the chance anyway of quite getting that mercury up to 90 degrees or higher for a first race post. Regardless, we're glad you're here. Gates rolling. First race lined up, ready to go. Here they come for the first. They're off and trotting. There goes Zoomster for the lead. There goes Shady Maple Caddy for the lead. These two both have early speed as we're underway for this Tuesday program at the 81st Effingham County Fair for harness racing. Zamboni gets away in third. Hatari is in fourth as they swing around the turn and race on toward the quarter-mile mark. And it is Shady Maple Caddy, already a 5-time winner this year, who's got the lead. Shady Maple Caddy, a 5-length advantage, midpoint of the backstretch, as Zoomster goes second by 5. Hatari is third by 7. Zamboni is fourth by 8 lengths. And then April Lady is fifth by a dozen, back to Winning Ken, who is last of the 6. 34-1 for the opening quarter, 34 and 1/5 seconds in the Ring Financial race. And the lead battle is starting to tighten up because here comes Zoomster. Zoomster was 5 lengths back, now is only 2 lengths back. So Shady Maple Caddy wakes up and opens back up here by 3 for driver Wyatt Avenatti, the defending driving champion at the Effingham County Fair and the leader with a big lead atop the point standings by about 15 points coming into today's races. Passing by the stands to the cheers of our racing fans at the Effingham County Fair, it is Shady Maple Caddy who shows the way. The first half, 106 and 2, 106 and 2/5. Shady Maple Caddy is leading Zoomster, then a gap of 10 lengths back to Hatari, followed by Zamboni, and April Lady next to last, and Winning Kin is still the distant trailer. The leader is already at the midpoint of the backstretch. Shady Maple Caddy is the leader, and the lead is extending once again. It's back out to 3.5, 4 lengths now with a quarter mile to go. Zoomster second by 18 lengths. Zamboni taking third from Hatari onto the final turn. 3/4, 1:38 and 4. 1 minute 38 and 4/5 seconds. Just over an eighth of a mile to go. It is Shady Maple Caddy on a 5-length lead at the top of the lane, and Zoomster just went off stride. The horse that was in second position, Zoomster is off stride. Now he is a good 15 to 18 lengths ahead of Zamboni in third, but no problems up front. Shady Maple Caddy wins the opener, the Ring Financial ISA 2-year-old trot. Shady Maple Caddy won it by 15 lengths. Zoomster lost ground in the stretch, got back on the trot, and then came back to secure second by 5 lengths over stablemate Zamboni in third. Hatari was across the line in fourth. And then you've got April Lady in fifth. And a heads up for those of you coming trackside, keep in mind you still have a 2-year-old trotter that is midway around the north turn, so please use caution before you come trackside. The track is still hot. You still have a horse at the top of the stretch finishing the mile. Speaking of which, the winner's time, 2:09 flat. The winner's time, 2:09 flat in the Ring Financial race. And as we speak, here comes Winning Kin to complete the mile and wrap things up for that first race.
Another fine race, today's first here at Altamont. Unfortunately, I couldn't quite will Clay past Frank to hit my trifecta, but I'll take 2 out of the 3. That's not a bad start for my day. But congratulations to the one Shady Maple Caddy. This filly is by Southwind Chrome and Charlotte Alber by Muscles Yankee, owned by David Avenatti and Emma Schrock of Sydney and Kevin Neufeld of Piatone, trained by Dave Avenatti. This one's owned or driven by his son Wyatt Avenatti. What a nice mile. I mean, that second quarter was in 32, picked up the bit. I mean, they all funneled off the gate, and then Wyatt just went his own mile.
Well, the first race today, our blanket, is sponsored by Ring Financial. And a good tie-in there because our newly crowned Junior Miss Effingham County Fair happens to be Leah Ring, the daughter of Alec and Christina Ring. And the Ring family will make the presentation, therefore, to our winning connections here in the first race. Shady Maple Caddy, 6th career win in 10 starts for this 2-year-old trotter who just picked up a new lifetime record, a personal best for the 1-mile distance, 2 minutes 9 seconds flat, 2:09. David Avenatti, the owner-trainer of Chrisman. Emma Schrock is the co-owner from Sydney. Kevin Neufeld of Piatone also owns an interest here. And David Avenatti's son, Wyatt, who leads those Doug McCain's Gourmet Barbecue Sauce Championship driver standings, is our winning driver. How about a hand for the winner of Race 1, Shady Maple Caddy? There's our junior Miss Leah, Dad Alec, joined by our speed superintendent, Dean Weatherall, and his assistant, Kelly Siebert. Trainer and co-owner David Avenatti moves in trackside, co-owner Kevin Neufeld. As the winner's circle once again is in place today, the wonderful backdrop with the Harness Racing logo and some flowers on either end of that backdrop. And we appreciate everybody who takes time to make that happen. The Avenatti family, they trace their roots back to the north of Italy. They have done the work. They originally, their ancestors migrated from northern Italy, and If you ever hear the track announcer in Chicago at Hawthorne, Peter Galassi, who's also of Italian heritage, he says the name Avenatti. And the Avenettis tell us technically in the old country, that's correct. It really would have been Avenatti. Avenatti, Avenetti, they are winners. Congratulations. And Wyatt with a nice wave of the left hand to the crowd. Judge, are we official? Thank you, Gene Millville. Alvin Siebert is away on assignment today, so Gene Millville will reassume his former role as our presiding judge. Here is the full field rundown. It is official for the first race. Shady Maple Caddy was the winner. April Lady finished 5, Zamboni 3. Zoomster was the runner-up. Hatari finished 4th, and Winning Ken was 6. The quarter 34-1, the half in 106-2, 3 quarters 138-4, and the time for the mile 2:09 flat. Reads down 153-246. The winning filly from the first crop by Southwind Chrome and bred by Freeman and Chester Mast, who base their farm in Belle Rive, Illinois. Scratch the 1 captain's box. Remember, pick-a-winner players, scratch the 1 captain's box in this upcoming second race. Scratch 6. So we send our best wishes to captain's box for a speedy recovery. Let's go to Scott Beal.
Avenetti Racing, a third-generation, family-run stable with a legacy of excellence. Centrally located between Illinois, Indiana, and Kentucky racing programs, Avenetti Racing specializes in buying yearlings, breaking, training, and racing top-performing standardbreds. Call 217-840-6469 or email avenettiracing@gmail.com today. Avenetti Racing, from yearling to racetrack, we build contenders.
Looking to move your mobile home? Need a roll-off dumpster at a competitive rate? Or maybe it's time to demo that old mobile home? Pine Ridge Mobile Home Transport has you covered. We serve Central Illinois with reliable mobile home transport, offer affordable roll-off dumpsters for the Springfield area, and provide expert demolition services across Illinois and Missouri. For fast, friendly service, call Wayne Decker at 217-313-9744. That's 217-313-9744. Or find Pine Ridge Mobile Home Transport on Facebook, your one-stop solution for mobile home services.
All right, David, as we come back here, Lisa getting a crowd shot. A nice crowd here for a noon start at the Effingham County Fair.
I say they do it right here. They create fans here in Altamont. You know, there's a lot of kids out there, a lot of families. You know, I love seeing that, the generation stopping by for a quick, few races at the fairs before they go about their day.
Absolutely. As we get ready to go here, David, one of the things we want people to do is like and subscribe us on Facebook, but for sure we want you to subscribe to us on YouTube. We're trying to reach that 1,000 subscriber mark. And David, where are we at today?
We are hovering at 981, so we keep climbing all week long. If you just,
I would love to be, before we get back to Bryan County, be back to 1,000.
It's getting real close, folks. If you have a neighbor, a grandma, or burner account, what have you, if you want to just create
like us at our Airbnb last night, if we could have, we would have liked or subscribed there.
We may be known to sign in to the accounts at the Airbnb and like and subscribe Harness too, but that's what you get for staying signed in, right?
That's right. That way people know where to find harness racing when they go to the Airbnb.
They can accidentally find horse racing. Well, it'd be it's a great thing for us, but we want to get to that $1,000 subscriber threshold, and we'd appreciate all the support getting there. And if, like I said, if you know someone maybe who follows along but doesn't have a YouTube or doesn't have a YouTube account, go ahead and create them an email so they can get notifications when we go live.
All right, we're ready for race 2 already. Scratch on the 1. No other driver changes in this race, correct?
That's what I have over here.
And so let's take a look at the picks. Looks like everybody went with the same 3 horses on this.
Yeah, 5-3-4 just kind of mixed. Lisa went 5-4-3, but Steve and I are both 5-3-4. It's, this Fox Valley Mai Tai had won 3 of her last 4 starts. This filly has one I mentioned earlier. I saw at the sale last year. I liked her when Avenetti's bought her. I've had my eye on her all season long, and Wyatt said he thinks she's going to get better with age. So the fact that she's already, kind of pulling in some good miles, I think she's going to start really kind of squaring off here and coming into that stake form. So I have her on top, and I use the 3. Calico Sunset. This is a Kronos filly by a totally Western mare. Leroy Hunt only paid $2,200 for this at the Illini Classic sale, but you can see those last few starts out there. Matt has this filly rolling with 2 wins and 2-5 at Farmer City, 2-7 at Paris, back in 58-1 at Springfield. So this is no slouch. Throwing the last quarter 27-3. We all 3 used the same horse, just kind of shook them up, I think, a little bit.
Absolutely, and a lot of times that comes down to driver, comes down to purse money, comes down to trainer.
Right.
There's lots of different reasons
to be
when you
completely
get to
honest,
that third horse.
In this race, when I got to the third horse, I liked Calico Sunset, but why I didn't use that horse maybe for second was because
Harness Tube, Steve Surratt, David Brink. They are positioned here on the infield bleachers, and our camera technician is over in the grandstand, Lisa Surratt. Again, you can follow the live stream. The folks at Harness Tube have a channel on YouTube.com. Scott, we have solved a mystery. We have talked this week about the 1963 ostrich races at the Effingham County Fair. We were afraid it was lost to history. Which local celebrity won the ostrich race? Again, they would hook like a little race cart, kind of like a scale model version of a harness racing bike to the ostrich, and they had local businessmen and merchants and fair board members that participated. The winner of the 1963 ostrich race, W.T. Frederking. Yes, we just got a text message from Kathy Frederking Quarter, and she found a ribbon that says Ostrich Race, first place, Gene Holter, Movie Land Animals Incorporated. Gene Holter was the animal trainer who organized the race. This brings back a memory, and I would not have thought of this until Kathy sent that picture. I do remember now my dad talking about the fact that WT thought to do something nobody else in the lineup did. He went and he talked to Mr. Holter and said, "Tell me about these ostriches. So what's the secret? What do I have to do to keep my ostrich in a straight line? What's the best strategy?" And that paid off, and WT was the winner of that ostrich race.
Kurt does such a great job with his announcing and stories and filling in all those gaps. He gets one text and knows all the other details to complete that story. But as I was saying here, I wasn't sure. I picked Calico Sunset maybe third because with Matt Evanetti training the 1 horse, I figured he had to drive that one. I wasn't sure who was going to drive Calico Sunset. But with the scratch of the 1, Matt gets to honor his mount on the 3 and should be a contender in this race. So
competitor, and that was a pretty competitive group of individuals, and you're right, WT would always do his homework, and he came away with the win. Race number 2 on this Tuesday card. Starters are out. Horses are on the track for race 2, the first division of the Illinois Standardbred Association 2-year-old filly pace. Blanket sponsor, the Altamont Masonic Lodge, number 533. Scratch the 1, Captain's Box. Scratch sick, purse of just over $1,600. Headed to the starting gate, the 2 is Montana Big Sky, owned, trained, and driven by Isaac Love of Brandon, Mississippi, co-owned by Perry Tillman Jr. of Bolton, Mississippi. 3, Calico Sunset, owned and trained by Leroy Hunt of Jackson, Tennessee. The driver is Matt Abinetti. 4 is Bet on the Jet. 3-time winner this year, is owned by Christopher Spann of Canton, Mississippi, trained by Freddie Patton Jr., Jordan Patton, his son, in the bike. And number 5, also a 3-time winner, Fox Valley Mai Tai, owned and trained by David Abinetti of Christman, co-owned by Emma Schrock of Sydney, Kevin Neatfeld of Piatone, Wyatt Abinetti is in the bike. So a 2-time winner in Calico Sunset, a couple of 3-time winners, and Montana Big Sky looking for that first career victory, headed to the gate for race 2.
bring myself back up real quick. We have in the chat here. Karen Stewart said it's nice to see Denny Gardner and Frank Fisher from our old training track down in Albion, Illinois. We love coming down to this part of the state. Karen, I tell you what, you love your horses down in this area, and a lot of good horsemen have come from this area, including Dennis Gardner and Frank Fisher both. So thanks for following along, and we appreciate all your support.
At the post, gate is rolling. Field over on the north turn of the racetrack. Stacy DeRoos of Charleston, our official starter, getting ready for race 2. Thanks to the Altamont Masonic Lodge for all that they do. They sponsor the Student of the Month program at Altamont Grade School, the Educator of the Year Award, participant in the Locker Blessings program, organize and present the annual Altamont Memorial Day Parade, and a whole lot more. Here they come. They are off and pacing, and quickly, Fox Valley Mai Tai fires out for the early lead. Fox Valley Mai Tai from that far outside starting spot went for the lead, but then about midway on the first turn started to make an awkward move there and lost ground, and as a result, Wyatt Avenatti had to do two things at once. He had to gather up that pacer and then start looking for an opening along the inside lane, because at that stage, he did not want to keep his foot on the gas. He knew that Mai Tai was getting rough-gated, maybe was on the verge of a full break of stride, and before that happened, he decided to say, whoa, let's just back it down a notch and find a spot back in third. 31-4 for the opening quarter, 31 4/5 seconds. In the meantime, Matt Avenatti is your leader with Calico Sunset. Bet on the Jet is racing in second. Fox Valley Mai Tai is third. And Montana Big Sky, last of the four, as they march in single file formation through the home stretch, halfway home here in this division for 2-year-old pacing fillies, brought to you by the Altamont Masonic Lodge number 533. And it is Calico Sunset, your leader. Calico Sunset leads by just one length. Bet on the Jet is racing in second. 102-3 for the first half mile. 102-3. Fox Valley Mai Tai is third. Montana Big Sky fourth and last, about 6 lengths off the lead. They head for the three-quarter. Bet on the Jet started to make a move at the 5/8 mile mark, and as soon as Bet on the Jet made that move, the leader, Calico Sunset, kicked it up a notch. So Calico Sunset seemed to like the challenge, and she thrived on it, and she's opened back up by 3. Let's see if Bet on the Jet can regroup. 3/4 and 134. 134 flat, just like a prize fight. Land a haymaker, and then the opponent has to say, okay, let's go to plan B. They turn for home. Calico Sunset still has a 2-length lead. Bet on the Jet is in second position, and then Fox Valley Mai Tai is third. How about this girl, Calico Sunset? She can take a punch in a figurative sense, and she responds to the challenge and wins it. She just drew off and won it by some 8 lengths. Well done, Calico Sunset. Bet on the Jet, that's a nice filly. She had to settle for second here today, and then Fox Valley Mai Tai was third, and then Montana Big Sky was fourth. 2:02-4. 2:02 4/5 the time for the mile. Amazing to see a young racehorse take a challenge like that and say, all right, game on. And Calico Sunset comes home the winner.
Another good race here in Altamont. That
Yoder Custom win.
wasn't quite what I expected in that first turn with Mai Tai making a break, but they were scorching out of their opening quarter in 31-4. This mile, 2-2-4 by these young pacers, turning in a nice mile over this county fair oval for the winners, Calico Sunset. I don't want to take anything away from Leroy. I picked him third because I thought Leroy would end up driving this horse, but with Matt's scratch and Matt getting to sit in the bike, I said, come catch me, boys, and really liven this filly up. That little filly by Kronos is a tough little gritty thing. So congratulations to all the connections. Owner, trainer Leroy Hunt, driver Matt Avenatti, Calico Sunset.
The winning owner trainer, Mr. Leroy Hunt, is coming trackside, wearing the blue cap, shaking hands there with our speed superintendent, Dean Weatherall, who gives him a congratulatory pat on the shoulder. Leroy had a pretty big night last week at the Edgar County Fair in Paris, he trained the winners of 3 straight races, something that had only happened one other time in the last 30 years at the Edgar County Fair. Just got a congratulatory shake of the hand also down trackside from members of the Altamont Masonic Lodge 533. It is really fun to see a young racehorse continue to develop and keep taking steps forward. This filly already had 2 wins. And as we talked about at the 5/8 mile mark, that was a good filly that put her to the test. And as soon as the other filly got her nose alongside this filly's flank, this filly responded and opened right back up. So she likes the competition. How about a hand for the winner, Calico Sunset? And she is still pretty spirited as Mr. Hunt stands at the head of this filly. He's pretty agile himself. He was able to stay on his feet despite the fact she's been throwing her head and getting a little impatient down there. The Altamont Masonic Lodge number 533 blanket to the connections of Calico Sunset. Matthew Tanner Avenatti of Chrisman, Illinois, better known to his friends as Matt. He's your winning driver. Congratulations, Matt. So the brothers Avenatti team up to take the first 2 races on the card. Judge, are we official? Yes, sir. Thank you, Gene Millville. It is official for race 2. Here is the full field rundown. From the top, Captain's Box was scratched. Montana Big Sky finished 4. Calico Sunset was the winner. Bet on the Jet was the runner-up. And Fox Valley Mai Tai was third. 31-4, the time for the opening quarter. 102-3, 3/4 and 134, and the time for the mile 202-4 of a second. Reads down, scratch 4-1-2-3. The winning filly is by the sire Kronos and was bred by Brian Chupp. Third race is on the way. A reminder: the driver of number 3, Smile Eraser, will be Wyatt Avenatti. Let's go to
Yoder Custom Woodworking was started in 1995 by the Yoder family as a retail Amish furniture store in Sullivan, Illinois. They offer custom kitchen cabinets, granite and quartz countertops, built-in office and bathroom cabinetry, and offer a wide range of Amish furniture. Their store is located at 1117 West Jackson Street in Sullivan, Illinois, with store hours Tuesday through Friday 9 to 4:30 and Saturday 9 to 3. For more information, contact Yoder Custom Woodworking at 217-728-2166.
Wait, before you go and get your snacks and drinks, make sure to subscribe and like to Harness Tube. If you can't do that, just give us a thumbs up. Alright, to the show.
Bringing us back up, Steve, before today's third race. Good to have the boys commercials in there, and good to have support from our friends at the Illinois Standardbred Association, combining all of the associations in the state this year to one Illinois Standardbred Association. We are glad to have them along. And, of course, the Flacco family farms. You know, if there wouldn't be much racing in Illinois without the Flacco family and all of their support of this state and the industry, and breeding a lot of racehorses for us too.
Well, you can be sure if it's got Luz in front of it or
they
Fox
probably
Valley
had
in
something.
front of it.
Well,
right?
Fox Valley is walkers, but yeah, no, they're
It's
Luz and Danish Durango and all those things, and now they have that the new one. So it's interesting to see all the namings, all the common names that come out of the Flacco's farm there. So
okay, educate me then. The Luz come out of Flacco's.
Mm-hmm.
Fox Valley comes out of the Walkers.
Sherman,
What are the other ones that are big out there that? You know,
by
the name.
By naming, we've seen Maple Grove. That's Joe Mullins. We've seen Shady Maple. That's not Freeman Mast, is it? Who's Shady Maple? Or I'm going to get those backwards, aren't I? Anyway, speaking as Clay Simpson goes by, his dad was Battle Shoe. There's Battle Shoe Jason out there. Battle Shoe, I forgot the filly's name. Gib McNeff in Brown County used to have Buckhorn series of horses, Buckhorn Society, Buckhorn Big Bucks, all those horses. Trying to think down around here too who I'm missing. So yeah, everyone kind of has their own little name.
What about Arcays?
Arcade, that's a good one. That is the Titus family. That is I have to get this right. So John Titus, which would be Mike's dad, I believe his mother's name her initials were R and K, and so John, in honor of his wife, named all of his horses RKs at something or another. Well, John's grandson, Mitch, had a daughter, I think the first granddaughter in the family, and her name is Ruthie K. So the RK now has been transitioned a generation down to Ruthie K. Titus for that family's naming, and it's there's a lot of those out there right now too. Good call.
J&M.
That is.
There's a couple of those out there.
Jonah Bontrager, does that sound right? Is he the breeder? Jonah, and I don't know his wife's name, but I'm guessing that might be Jonah and something Bontrager.
Trying to, where do I
Jonas
see?
Bontrager. I was close.
Okay.
Well, here's an easy one. Miss Grant 25. Tommy Grant names all of his horses. Miss Grant 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Okay.
Course of horse racing history. Doesn't matter if it's standard breds or thoroughbreds. The concept of heart, of the desire to win. It's something that horsemen say you can't measure it physically, but there are some horses, they just have that determination, almost like a human athlete, where they are just resolute and determined to win a race. One such horse in the thoroughbred world, if you ever read about Northern Dancer, who won the Kentucky Derby back in 1964, became one of the greatest sires in the history of thoroughbred racing. He is to this day held in great reverence by our friends north of the border. He was a Canadian-bred horse. He was the first Canadian-bred to win the Kentucky Derby, and he was about the size of a Shetland pony. I don't even know if he was 15 hands. He was a tiny horse. But he won some of the biggest races in North America. And people that are old enough to have watched him race, they said two things worked to his advantage. One, because he was so small, he was able to work his way through traffic because he could fit through gaps between horses that maybe a standard or larger size horse just simply could not fit through the same gap. So that worked to his advantage. And the other thing everybody will tell you, Northern Dancer had heart in the sense of he had desire to win. That horse, people will tell you, could not stand to get beat. And it's amazing how there are some equine athletes that certainly have that characteristic. Getting ready to go here, race 3 coming up in just a moment.
All right, David, we talk about from the backstretch a lot, and we had a picture sent to us.
We love these backstretch photos. Keep them coming in. We have little Parker Wilfong watching at home. Mama Nicole sent me this text, said she's hoped Parker wake up for the first post. I don't know if she made it for the first, but I got a picture of her awake during the second race. So she made it in time to watch most of the races here at Altamont. But we love having the Wilfongs as friends and as horsemen and as patrons and viewers and fans of Harness Tube.
Absolutely. The relationships, from Lisa's side of things, you've been in a lot of these relationships a long time, but the genuine relationships that we have in harness racing, having just been part of this family for 3 years.
It's crazy how once you're in, and everyone just accepts you and takes to like a duck to water. It's really a community and a close-knit thing. It's hard to explain, but I think you're kind of getting the bug and getting understanding a little bit now.
And now, we knew Tina Schrock before that. We used to sit with her in the stands as she was doing the charting. We'd talk a little bit in between. But to really be involved in the family and horsemen come up and talk with you and the things that happen.
And the whole family getting involved, everyone's showing up and got their part to play in the orchestrated chaos that is horse racing out here.
Yeah, I noticed Lane sending in pics today. Again, you are banished from anything that's by the pool with any cold beverage in your hand.
But if you're sitting in the office and you're grueling away at the computer and life's rough, then we'll take pictures all day, bud.
Yeah, we'll take those. Or if you're outside and you're sweating,
mowing,
that's fine too. But no cool pictures today. So
we love having Lane follow along. Talk about the whole Avenatti family, Dave and Karen and all their kids, Autumn, Matt, Wyatt. Lane, they're all been involved in helping create Harness Tube what it is today. They're all, creating these races for Illinois. They do a great job as horsemen, as ambassadors. It's just a blessing to have them out here.
And real quick, it's Matt's birthday. So
it is Matt's birthday. Yeah, happy birthday, Matt.
Matt's birthday. Happy birthday.
And congratulations to the recent newlyweds. So
all right, we'll go to Kurt.
Horses are on the track for the third race, the Illinois Standardbred Association second division of the 2-year-old filly pace. Purse $1,626. They're headed to the starting gate over on the backstretch. Number 1 is April Sunlight, IYQ, owned by Milton Greer of Jackson, Tennessee, trained by Leroy Hunt. The driver, Matt Avenatti. By the way, happy birthday to Matt Avenatti. Someone sent us a heads up. I thought at Charleston last night it said he was 31 years old in the program. Today it says he's 32. Well, makes sense. It's his birthday. So happy birthday to Matt. Number 2 is Ms. Grant 25, owned by Tommy Lee Grant of Jackson, Mississippi, trained and driven by Demarius Wakefield. 3 is Smiley Racer, owned by Trails to Nature Incorporated of Cub Run, Kentucky, trained by Phil Cotton of Fairfield, Illinois, contrary to the program, the driver Wyatt Avenatti. 4 is Obligate, racing for Bart Seals of nearby Mason, trained by Cornelius Cabot, Jordan Patton in the bike. And 5 is RK's Farrell Sherrill, owned by the MM&D Racing LLC of Charleston. Mike and Mitch Titus and Dennis Wright, trained by Roshan Trigg. Kajavian J.J. Carter is up. Here they come, race 3. Brought to you by McDevitt, Osteen, Hoynicke, and Daters Law. And away they go in today's third race. There goes Ms. Grant 25 out for the early lead. April Sunlight. IYQ comes away in second. Smiley Racer is out third, followed by Obligate, who quickly settles to the inside lane in fourth. Then a gap of 3 lengths to RK's Farrell Sherrill, who is last of the 5 off the first turn, and onto the backstretch they go. Ms. Grant 25 is the early leader. Ms. Grant 25 leads for Demarius Wakefield in the blue, gray, and white driving colors. He checks over his shoulder, sees that he's got a 2.5 length lead over April Sunlight IYQ in that second position, and then Smiley Racer is racing in third. 31-4 for the opening quarter. Thank you, Charles Miller. 31-4 fifth seconds. They navigate the north turn here on this half-mile racetrack as Ms. Grant 25 maintains the lead by 2.5 lengths over April Sunlight IYQ in that second position. Then Smiley Racer third. Obligate now takes to the outside from fourth. Obligate, that is the horse with local ownership, is moving up from fourth into third, now challenging for second, and further back RK's Farrell Sherrill is the distant trailer. Back to the south end of the course they go, and Obligate just keeps on a-trucking on the outside off a half mile in 102 and 2/5 of a second. 102 and 2 for that first half mile. It is door to door for the race lead after 5/8 of a mile. Obligate to the outside has the lead by just a neck, and Ms. Grant 25 is still there and fighting on, and these two matching strides the entire length of the backstretch of this half-mile track at the Effingham County Fair. Gap of 3 lengths to April Sunlight IYQ, who is in third. 3/4, 133 and 2. 133 2/5 on the final turn. Ms. Grant 25 benefits from being on that inside lane, saves the ground, opens back up, and has a widening 5-length lead. Obligate is now in second position, and she's under fire because April Sunlight IYQ is trying to get alongside of her, but this is well behind the winner, Ms. Grant 25, who opens up down the stretch. Ms. Grant 25 won it by some 8 lengths. It was April Sunlight IYQ up for second over Obligate in third, and then it's close for fourth, either Smiley Racer or RK's Farrell Sherrill. Time for the mile, 2:03 and 1/5. 2:03 and 1/5. Ms. Grant 25 has just scored her first career victory.
Miss Grant 25 taking today's third race in a nice, breaking her maiden, getting a lifetime mark here of 2, 3, and 1 in her young 2-year-old career over a half-mile track. That's a nice mile, led it every step of the way, held off contention from a hard-charging Obligate for Jordan Patton. That was just a nice mile altogether for the 2-horse. Congratulations to Tommy Lee Grant of Jackson, Mississippi, trainer and driver young Demarius Wakefield, only 18.
Our thanks to McDevitt, Osteen, Hoynicke, and Daters LLC. Visit them on Facebook or online at www.mocdlaw.com. A team with more than 125 years of experience and a lot of years of supporting the Effingham County Fair. Once again, our junior miss, Leah Ring, is coming trackside. She will join the representatives of McDevitt, Osteen, Hoynicke, and Daters to congratulate the winner here in race 3 in this division of the 2-year-old filly pace. Ms. Grant 25, first career win for this 2-year-old daughter of Time to Roll, owned by Tommy Lee Grant of Jackson, Mississippi, and trained and driven by 18-year-old Demarius Wakefield, himself a native of Mississippi. The story goes that many years ago, owner Tommy Lee Grant, he got tired of wrestling with the United States Trotting Association and having name choices rejected for his horses. So what he did for his fillies, he just started putting Ms. Grant and then a number behind them. And now we've worked our way up to Ms. Grant 25. He figured, I'm safe, they will surely approve that. How about a hand for Ms. Grant 25? Fox Valley Standardbreds and former Governor Jim Edgar bred this filly, who again is my time to roll out of Fox Valley, Florida by Yankee Skyscaper. Our thanks once again to McDevitt, Osteen, Hoineke, and Daters. Dale Wolf leans over and smiles and offers a word of congratulations to Demarius Wakefield. Right there in that race bike, you're looking at one of the reasons that we all want a future for Illinois racing. 18-year-old Demarius Wakefield with your winning drive. And we talk about it all the time. We all want to see everybody in this sport succeed and do well regardless of their age. But when you think about the future, we have got so many aspiring men and women in that 18 to 25-year-old bracket, trainers, drivers, and so forth. They want to race, and they want to race in Illinois. So let's do what we can to keep it going. Judge, are we official here? Thank you, Gene Millville. Here's the full field rundown for the third race. April Sunlight IYQ, the runner-up. Ms. Grant 25, the winner. Smiley Racer finished 4. Obligate was 3rd. And Arcase Farrell Sherrill finished 5. 31 and 4 at the quarter. 102 and 2 at the half. 133 and 2 at the 3 quarters. Mile 203 and 1. Again, the mile 203 and a fifth, and it reads down 214.35. Fourth race is on the way. No changes to report in this fourth event brought to you by Brookstone Estates of Effingham. Scott, that's one thing. The horse.
All right, David. You got 12 points out of that, so you're up in the lead today. Wow. That's the first time for a while.
I should be in the lead, though, right? I mean,
well, that's what I would think, but I'm in last place. I'm 10 points behind you. Lisa's 6 points behind you, as the two of us didn't do real well in that one.
You know, we have hot days and we have cold days. It seems like whenever you miss, you miss, and whenever you can't miss, you can't miss. So
yeah, I won at Lewiston. Lisa won at
Charleston
yesterday, and you're ahead today.
And didn't our picker win before that at Urbana or somewhere? Lane or Brady won somewhere? I don't know.
Oh well, yeah. Who was that?
No, Brady's at Lewiston. I forget. Yeah, it's been a complete toss-up. Every broadcast we go to, someone else is getting the hot hand. So I'm not mad about it.
I don't know. I think Lisa won in Urbana too.
That sounds right. Maybe I'm thinking Paris probably.
She beat was it Kyle there? Kyle or somebody?
Kyle. That's right.
And I think she beat him by just a few points. I'd have to go back and
because that's where Kyle went like 9 in a row, right? 10 in a row. Yeah.
But Lisa was just
in the end. Yeah, she was 15, 10, 15 every race.
Yeah.
That's right.
With that,
we'll have to get Kyle back in here. They're going 10 in a row. Yeah, see if that was a fluke or not.
Yeah, absolutely. Some of our others that we've had out here haven't been able to get them back to us in time to do it. But tell you what, folks, we're going to head to commercial. We'll be back after these messages.
Yes.
Make plans now to attend the 27th Annual Illini Classic Yearling Sale, which takes place on Labor Day at the Illinois State Fairgrounds in Springfield. Once again this year, the catalog will offer not only a strong lineup of Illinois-conceived and foaled yearlings, but also an excellent supporting cast of colts and fillies eligible to other state-bred programs in the Midwest and on the Eastern Seaboard. It's the Illini Classic Yearling Sale, Monday, September 1st, beginning at 11 a.m. Central.
David, let's talk about Kerr Auction Company in Mount Sterling. Apparently, I didn't update this slide, but they had an auction on.
It's topical because today we had the Mount Sterling 2025 Tool Auction sale, 2 rings, and actually, this morning I was doing some book work for Thursday here at Altamont, and I checked my Facebook, and there's a nice video on Facebook from Kerr Auction showing you how to use their app, and also showing you that if there's a listing that you like, you can hit the notification button on that listing, so it'll remind you within 30 minutes of the auction closing or 5 minutes of the auction closing, kind of like eBay does. So if you like eBay, if you like kind of getting good deals, if you like auction or agricultural equipment or any construction equipment, check out Kerr Auction. They've got live sales. They've got online apps. The whole gamut.
I love having editing at your fingertips.
You can change on the
Those
fly,
two
can't you?
auctions are gone. Next one coming up August the 14th, but I'm sure the other one's still going on. And unique things.
At 12:45, they're still selling
farm equipment, but they had
tools,
tools and storage.
That's right.
Freight containers like you would see on a boat.
Those shipping containers,
shipping containers.
And those things are becoming really popular. Like you said, she shed storage. I'm seeing them used for construction, as lock boxes, what have you. So if you have any kind of, while you're watching the races, pull open that app and just scour through and see what you can find.
Absolutely. And just a reminder, Downstate Classic coming up on Sunday at Mount Sterling. That will be 2-year-olds with around $100,000 in prize money on that.
What a fine series of races that's been contested everywhere from Lincoln to Carrollton to I think Altamont here 1 year or two, Mount Sterling, Charleston. The Downstate Classics traveled and had a lot of great horses.
And again, folks, we can't ask enough or thank you enough. I want to say thank you enough about your donations and your advertising to keep this free to people. You're not fortunate enough. We try to pass the information along when we see it, but the person after person that either comes up to Lisa or comes up to ourselves or sends us a message that says, we are so glad you do this because I wasn't able to be there because of health. I used to like to go to the county fairs, or my dad's watching and he loves harness racing.
Those stories
or my kids grew up around it and they're watching away from here.
Yes, I got a text last night from Sean Nessa watching down in DuQuoin, and he's been texting Kurt this year a little bit, letting him know how much he appreciates what we do. But just to have that conversation with Sean and myself, a fellow horseman, to hear it, how much it means to him, to what we're doing and how we're promoting the sport. I keep saying if we can pay for our expenses just to keep doing this and making the horsemen feel good, then I'm calling that a win. I don't want to keep you guys paid, but for my own purposes, if I can keep this ship going forward and keep the horsemen, serviced in that way, I think this whole thing is worth the endeavor.
I'm going to renegotiate my contract. When it gets above 90 degrees, it's double or triple, whatever. I'm getting too old. I told Lisa, I said, there's going to be two things that slow Lisa up from harness racing. First is climbing. And the second's going to be heat.
Well, the funny thing is we're now at the point where I can start paying you guys, so we'll see if your attitudes change after this season or not when the checks come in.
Okay.
But we appreciate all the Surratt's help the first couple of years. We leaned on your equipment for so long, rent-free. We've leaned on your services and your labor, carrying up and down the steps, the whole shebang. So we appreciate everything you guys do.
Yeah, there's just a few that I question, but we've already got those worked out for next year.
Right. And that's the whole thing is we got to make it easy for us so that we can keep doing this for you guys, right? If we had the whole crew and the whole organization we had to set up and tear down, it would be a little different. But with three of us, we can kind of sneak in, set up, and sneak out, and keep it kind of a fluid operation for everybody.
Yeah,
so.
David and I have found some easier ways. Like last night, we were in the Effingham on the ground, so we had no stairs. Not Effingham, Charleston on the ground.
Yeah.
And we had our own shade. We brought our own shade. Had a little breeze.
And those of you who have been in the infield judges stand in Charleston, maybe you don't know, but as someone who stands 6'9", I guarantee I'm well aware of that low beam there. So I was happy to be down there on the ground floor where I could kind of walk around and not have to duck my head so much.
Yeah, you ought to see him when he's announcing the harness races. You'll see him Friday. He'll be all over the place.
Go back and watch the last couple of years when I announce. I'm usually announcing from those stairs on the back of the judges stand, just wandering around somewhere.
All right, with that, we'll go back to Kurt for a moment.
Sounds good.
All the time. They know how to have fun in the summer, that's for sure. They recently had water balloon fights. Because of the heat, they had indoor golf one day, chalk art on another day. They'll have entertainment that includes sing-alongs. They have visits from Comfort Dogs. They encourage everyone, come take a peek, stay for a tour. Brookstone Estates in nearby Effingham. Race 4 for a purse of $2,764. The Illinois Standardbred Association 2-year-old colt and gelding Pace. Let's meet the starters. No changes. Number 1, Fox Valley End Zone, owned by David Avenatti of Chrisman. He's the trainer, owned also by Emma Schrock of Sydney. Kevin Neatfeld of Piatone. The driver is Wyatt Avenatti. 2, JNM Son of Star, owned by Cornelius Cavett of Virgin, Cedric Daniels of Jackson, Mississippi, Jordan Patton of Clinton, Mississippi, Cornelius Cavett, the trainer and the driver. 3 is TJ's Pilot, owned by the Flacco Family Farms, LLC of Alexis, owned also by trainer Roshan Trigg of Brandon, Mississippi, the driver Jaquavian Carter. And by the way, the past performance lines are current for number 3, TJ's Pilot. Track program says a line to be announced from the Logan County Fair at Lincoln, but they actually rained out at the post, and the gate is rolling. Always marvel at our sportscasters who cover high school sports, and again, I think of this because of the name Fox Valley End Zone. If you ever peek over the shoulder of the crew from Premier Broadcasting, I don't know how many people know or appreciate the fact they're not only doing play-by-play. I don't care if it's softball, baseball, basketball, football. They're keeping their own statistics. That is absolutely mind-boggling, because those of us who are used to somebody else doing that and handing us a piece of paper, or we read it off a monitor, they don't have that luxury. It is all on them. And to keep that smooth play-by-play delivery and keep track of all those stats, great work to the men and women at Premier Broadcasting. Here they come, 4th race. Let's see what Fox Valley End Zone can do. They are off and pacing, and in fact, he's going to be the first away. Fox Valley End Zone comes right out for the early lead. And Wyatt Avenatti has a pretty snug grip on him, and he's wanting to move on. He's already opened up on a 3-length lead around the first turn. JNM, Son of Star, is in second position, and TJ's Pilot is racing in third. Off the first turn and onto the backstretch they go. Fox Valley End Zone is the leader on top, but only by 2 lengths. JNM, Son of Star, is picking up the leader now, a closer second, but then a gap of better than 10 lengths, about a dozen lengths back, let's say, to TJ's Pilot as they go by the quarter-mile mark and race past Fairmeadow Farm to the far turn of the racetrack after an opening quarter in 32 and 4 fifth seconds. It is Fox Valley End Zone, the leader after 3/8 of a mile. The lead is some 3.5 lengths and is followed by JNM, Son of Star, who travels in second. Then a gap of 15 lengths back to TJ's Pilot, who is third as they work their way toward the half-mile mark. Fox Valley End Zone trying to give Wyatt Avenatti another win. He's already got one here today, and he is the leader in the Doug McCain's Gourmet Barbecue Sauce Championship driver standings thus far on the week. 103 and 2 for the first half mile. 103 and 2. Back around the south turn they go. Fox Valley End Zone, already a winner at the Henry County Fair in Cambridge, up near the Quad Cities area back in June, has the advantage as they head off the first turn, the south turn, and go toward that 3/4. Now, he's been followed since the start pretty closely by JNM, Son of Star. To be specific, it's 2 lengths between the top two. And then there's a gap of nearly the length of the back straightaway now back to TJ's Pilot, who is in third. But the leader's already on the final turn. 135 and 4 at the 3/4, 135 and 4/5 of a second. Fox Valley End Zone opens up on a 5-length lead as they come off the north side of the course and straighten away for the finish. The Brookstone Estates of Effingham race for Illinois-bred 2-year-old pacing colts and geldings, Fox Valley End Zone, your winner for Wyatt Avenatti's second win on the card. It was a gap of nearly 8 lengths back to JNM, Son of Star, in second, and now here's TJ's Pilot to complete his mile in third. 2:05 and 2. The time for the mile, 2:05 and 2/5 of a second. We'll meet the winner in just a moment.
While we're waiting for the horse to come back, we have Fox Valley End Zone, the winner of today's 4th race, making their way back to the winner's circle. Want to give a shout out to Dominique Bankston, wanting to wish congratulations to her son Quan. Demarius Wakefield out there. What a fine young horseman you sent up to us in Illinois. We appreciate you sharing him with us. Randy Callahan wanting to comment, saying what a great crew you've put together. Randy, I couldn't agree more. We're very fortunate that Steve and Lisa have taken this on with us.
Checking the updated standings for the fastest mile of the day after 4 races. Quickest mile so far back in the second race, Calico Sunset in 2:02 and 4/5 of a second. Once again today, the folks from Circle L Walking Horses, Russ and Bridget Lapine, they will present $50, a wooden commemorative plaque, and a T-shirt to the connections of the horse posting the fastest winning time on the afternoon. And so far, 2:02 and 4, that is the fastest we've seen, with 40% or a little better complete now for today's program. This is also a double here in race 4 for all of these connections. Second win of the day for the ownership group: David Avenatti of Chrisman, Emma Schrock of Sydney, Kevin Neatfeld of Piatone, trainer David Avenatti and his son Wyatt Avenatti as your winning driver. They teamed up to win the first race on the card today. That was with Shady Maple Caddy in a 2-year-old trot, and they win here today in this 2-year-old colt and gelding pace. How about a hand for the winner, Fox Valley End Zone? Leah Ring, our junior miss, is standing next to our speed superintendent, Dean Weatherall, to her left, and assistant superintendent Kelly Siebert to the right. David Avenatti, the winning co-owner and trainer, is trackside. Also, Kevin Neatfelt, good to have him visit us today from his home in Piatone. He gives us a nice wave from the winner's circle. And driver Wyatt Avenatti, joined by wife and children in the winner's circle as well. Yet another generation of the Avenatti family coming on in this sport of harness racing, and that's always a good thing to see. 2:05 and 2 the time, a new lifetime record, second career win for this 2-year-old pacer, a gelded son of Some Star Somewhere, out of official line by Art, official the winner bred by Jimmy and Tracy Walker stable of Sherman. So we're 4 races into this thing. Wyatt Avenatti's got 2 driving wins. His brother Matt's got 1, and Demarius Wakefield has the other. Congratulations to our defending driving champion, Wyatt Avenatti. Here's the full field rundown. It's official for that 4th race. From the top, Fox Valley End Zone, the winner. JNM Son of Star, the runner-up, and TJ's Pilot was 3rd. They got the quarter in 32 and 4, the half in 103 and 2, 3/4 135 and 4, and the time for the mile 2:05 and 2. Reads down 1, 2, 3. Coming up, it is race number 5. A reminder, the driver of the 2 Rushville, Wyatt Avenatti. Number 2 Rushville, the driver, Wyatt Avenatti. Scott, I remember.
Well, David, Wyatt Avenatti got to hustle back there and get a change and be in this next race. But
He's a busy man, isn't he?
Talk about this race. Lisa and I tightened things up. She tied back up. We got the trifecta on this. You picked the winner and boxed the other 2. So 12 points for you. So I am just 4 points down. Lisa's tied with you now.
We are neck
so
and
our
neck.
race changes.
Yeah. So her and I are shoulder to shoulder going to the 3/4. I guess we're going to the half, and you're sitting in the 2-hole trip right behind me, huh?
Yeah. Yep. Waiting for somebody to have a misstep.
To make your move, so.
Yeah.
That's funny.
All right. With that, we'll take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
'24 Illinois County Fair Training Champion. Kev Miller's horses are built to win, and it all starts here. Ready to join a winning team? Call Kev at 217-254-0170 or send a message to the email address on the screen to learn more. Kev Miller Stables. Train to win.
Do you like to watch horse racing? Yeah. Do you not want to pay money for a stupid horse racing channel? Yeah. Are you sadly allergic to horses and you can't see them? Yeah. Well, introducing Harness Tube, established 2023.
Hey, I need to try this out.
You can watch it at your son's ball game.
Let's go, son!
You can watch it while eating. Last but not least, you can watch it while you're sleeping.
Yay, my horse won. Now everybody, make sure you like and subscribe to Harness Tube and keep the notifications on for more Harness Tube streams or future videos or future posts. Anything that I care for. Anything at all. Even if it's just like a 1-second video of a horse doing a backflip. I don't know. But you get the point. So, I hope this video is very informational. And thank you for watching. Peace out.
All right, David, back with you as we get ready for race 5, halfway through this schedule. Or we will be one lap into it. We'll be halfway through the schedule.
Yep.
As we get ready for the next race. But lots of racing this week going on board between here and Charleston and Brown County. And now, we're not doing all the ones here at Altamont. They race Sunday.
They race all week, yeah.
They race every day of the week this week, right?
Sunday through Saturday, I think, is what it goes.
So we got
Sunday through Friday. I don't remember.
Got 3 dates in with them, 3 dates in with Charleston, and glad we could do that.
We efficiently use our time. Come down here, hit 6 fairs in 5 days, and make it back in time to hit our home track and see Mount Sterling this weekend. So.
Yep, and then this year, 3 more races after that.
Excited to go up to Morrison, up the Northern Fair Circuit. That's always a good time.
Have you never been there?
Oh, we used to race Morrison a lot, but we haven't broadcast from there, and it's.
I've been to Morrison to sing, but I've not been. Friend of ours from down at Arnsville, it was a pastor at the Lutheran Church up there.
Really?
So the group I sang with used to go up there all the time, the Winklemans. So we'll be possibly seeing some old friends. I don't know if the Buzzards are here today. I hadn't sent Angie a note to see if the Buzzards were here today, but you said one of their horses was running in Charleston this week?
Yeah, I thought I saw Lose My Number at Charleston tomorrow, which would be their good 3-year-old filly trotters. But I think they have some other horses, so you might see Mike and Diane Buzzard here. I didn't look through the program that closely. I need to go back and double check. But either way, it's good to have familiar faces pop by and say hi and and catch up on old times. Speaking of old times, looking in the chat here, we've got Joseph DeCoris saying, can't thank us enough for all we do to keep Illinois harness racing alive, and that he's selling off his Illinois harness racing memorabilia collection of artifacts dating back to 1940s. Goes on to say, if you can ever post something vintage programs or memorabilia online, don't hesitate to ask. I think the best way to go about this is, Joseph, if you're listening, if anybody out there has an old horse that they remember, maybe an old family horse, maybe one of your favorite horses that used to race at Chicago or Fairmont or what have you, go ahead and get a hold of Joe. You can probably put his email address in the chat. I'll throw it up on the screen. But send him a horse's name, and I bet he could know where to find a program that might contain that horse, or maybe a matchbook from a night when that horse raced or something. He has the memorabilia. He has so many things. It's kind of hard to sift through them and put them out there. But if you have a specific question, I'm sure he can dig up something for you. So reach out, let him know what you're looking for, and see if he can find you something Illinois harness racing related. But looking at today's 5th race, we're out of the ISA races now. We're into the overnight portion of our card. Today's 5th race is a non-winners of $77.50 lifetime pace. Non-winners of $7,750.
All right, if you want to go over the picks, you can.
Well, I got kind of sidetracked here because we got Danny Clark in the comments saying Alan Bowen never missed Morrison that he remembers. And Danny, you'd be absolutely right. We always enjoyed going up there and staying in the round barn and seeing all the big Clydesdales up there. The people in Morrison love their horse racing. The fans were genuinely cheered. Just a good fair to be at, a quiet, calm setting. Love racing up there in Morrison. And I tell you what, they say go, and you're in that first turn. I think the wire's about right there. So it's always a fun track to see those stretch drives in all the hooping and hollering and big finishes. So looking forward to going up to Morrison for sure. So thanks for saying something, Danny.
All right, as we get ready here, David and I, you and I went the same in this race. Lisa went different. She went 1, 2, 3 down the order. That worked out well for the Surratts. The last race, 1, 2, 3.
See, you guys can split up your votes and cover your bet to beat me either way, right?
That's it. We don't even look at yours, or we don't look at each other's when we're doing these.
That's funny.
It's really blind. It's funny how many times one of us is with you, one of us with each other, and then there's times when we're all three just how in the world did anybody make those picks?
It's interesting for me to try to pinpoint what the selection was, or what was going through the guest selector's mind. Is it something that they're following drivers? Are they looking at wins? Are they picking chalk? Are they picking, the big value plays, if you will, to make some upside and surprise some people? So I think Lisa's kind of a homer. She likes her Jamaica Patent horses a little bit and her Wyatt horses. That's obviously a good thing. And Steve's trying to find the value. I think he's digging through the data to figure out where the horse is going to come up big and beat David's horse, it sounds like. But I'm just playing chalk, top to bottom.
Well, I look at the chalk, but I want to look for that horse that's making its move. It's done really well. At this point of the year, a lot of times those horses have raced each other. At least two of the horses out of the top three have raced each other, and you want to see what the track record is because, they get a good sense of each other, and, usually things happen, or you might be thinking, well, I've looked the last time, this one was only a length off the pace, and if I can remember the race and remember what happened, you might make a change up on that, but there's lots of different ways you can pick horses, as we talked with Kurt Becker at Farmer City. Sometimes by name is
as
good
as anything,
because they don't have any track record at all, or the track record they have is not real good, and neither are the rest of the horses. So there is no set way to do it.
When we're watching thoroughbreds, Mom just picks the pretty horses. If there's a chestnut or a gray, you can bet she's putting her money on that one. And, it sounds silly, but oftentimes they come through and hit the board and pay something.
I like the grays.
I like the grays, too.
I miss those in harness racing.
Here's a funny story. I hope I can say this, Nicole, if you're still watching. My very first horse was a horse owned or bred by Will Fong's Cape Crusader, a filly named Sadie Lynn. She was out of a lag mare, and she was gray as gray can be. I was telling Nicole that the other day, and she laughed pretty loud. She said her and Kyle were kind of debating maybe naming their baby Sadie Lynn, but Kyle vetoed it and said that wasn't going to happen. So I wonder if in the back of his mind he remembered that was a horse's name from way back in the day or not.
Well, yeah. There's a deal if you're in a horseman's family is naming your kids after your favorite horse.
Yeah, you got to be in trouble there.
Instead of the other, naming the horse after your favorite kid.
We'll throw it back to Kurt for today's fifth race.
Pizza of Altamont. Scott, I want you to be thinking, because after this race, I'm going to put you on the spot and ask you what your favorite dish at Joe's Pizza is. Mine is the Supreme Pizza or the baked spaghetti. Here they come, race 5. They are off and pacing, and there goes Hey Freaky out for the early lead. Rushville is off stride. Rushville is on a break. Moved from left to right, ducked out, heading down into the first turn, and Wyatt Avenatti, you notice what he did? He just sat calmly in the race bike because he knew that if he overreacted, shifted his weight in the sulky, that would only make it worse. So he just calmly sat and let Rushville just get it out of her system, and now they are back pacing, Rushville is, and catching up with the other two. But the leader is Hey Freaky. Hey Freaky leads it by 2 lengths past the quarter-mile mark. Rockin' Legal is second. Rushville pacing fast to catch up and be a closer third. The opening quarter, 33 and 1/5 seconds. Hey Freaky, so far so good, looking for a second career victory, has the lead here after 3/8 of a mile and is on the lead by some 5 to 6 lengths. Rockin' Legal is in second position, and here comes Rushville. Rushville has not only caught up but is now challenging for that second position. Halfway home to the cheers of the fans at the 81st Annual Effingham County Fair in the Joe's Pizza of Altamont race. So it was 33 and 1 at the quarter, 103 and 2 at the half, 103 and 2/5 of a second. They head on to the backstretch, and it is Hey Freaky who's got the lead. Hey Freaky leads it and maintains the advantage by some 4 lengths. Rushville is in second position, and then a gap of 6 more lengths back to Rockin' Legal in third as they go by the 3/4 mile mark here in race 5 on this Tuesday at the Effingham County Fair. Hey Freaky got 3/4 and 135 flat. 3/4, 135 flat. Hey Freaky, Tyler Stevens Clemens in the black, gold, and white colors. He's a graduate of our amateur driving series. He drove here several years ago in the amateur event, and he's about to go to the winner's circle in race 5 this afternoon. Tyler Stevens Clemens winning with Hey Freaky by a comfortable margin. Hey Freaky drew clear in the stretch and won it by 15 lengths. It was Rockin' Legal home second, then a gap of nearly 5 more back to Rushville in third. Time for the mile. 205 flat. 2:05 flat, the time for the mile. The Joe's Pizza of Altamont blanket to be presented in just a moment.
Congratulations to Hey Freaky and Tyler Stevens Clemens, who trains that horse as well for the Freaky Luck stable out of Springfield, Illinois, running away and hiding from the field in this one in 2.5 flat. Had a nice chat with Tyler this morning when we got to the fair today. He was over here in the infield and sat and talked to us for a little bit. A young horseman out of the Springfield area, moved up to Chicago and back down in the Coin area, he said now. So good to have him here racing with us. Good to see him out there winning races, and always good to see young horsemen and up-and-coming new horsemen, new faces, stamping their mark on the Illinois County Fair racing circuit. Congratulations to Hey Freaky, Tyler Stevens Clemens.
The winner of race 5, Hey Freaky, is an Indiana-sired performer and is owned by the Freaky Luck stable of Springfield of Tyler Stevens Clemens and Dr. Cassidy Tarter. The trainer and the driver, Tyler Stevens Clemens. The result is unofficial. A claim of foul has been lodged by the driver of the 2 Rushville against the unofficial winner, Hey Freaky, alleging interference at the start. So we will take testimony in just a moment from driver Wyatt Avenatti and driver Tyler Stevens Clemens. So this result is unofficial, but for now, in front of the grandstand, here's number 3, Hey Freaky. Wyatt Avenatti currently speaking to our presiding judge, Gene Millville, by two-way radio. We do know this much, Scott, even though the result is currently unofficial with a claim of foul that is pending. We talked about the fact Joe's Pizza of Altamont is the sponsor. I told you, if I'm getting a pizza, I normally don't like Supreme Pizzas. I love theirs. I love their Supreme Pizza. If I'm getting pasta, I'm going for the baked spaghetti. How about you, Scott? Favorite dish at Joe's Pizza of Altamont? I'm with you on that, and you know, Joe's is so popular. There's a lot of people that eat in-house in the restaurant, and there's always a lot of carry-out orders, and there are always a lot of deliveries. After the water truck passes, got a thought for you. One of the things that always amazes me about Joe's Pizza of Altamont, they are so busy, yet they are so consistent, because you will get your food in a timely fashion. It is hot, it is tasty, it is good. That to me is one of the biggest points about a favorite restaurant. Is the restaurant consistent and they hit the bullseye each time? And there's Chris giving a wave to the crowd, and everybody on that staff at Joe's Pizza of Altamont, they are fans of this Effingham County Fair, fans of harness racing, thoroughbred racing. They even have a framed poster of Triple Crown winner Justify, signed by Bob Baffert, that hangs on the wall, and they just flat love horse racing, no matter in what form it comes, so we appreciate it. Now, the presiding judge has spoken with Wyatt Avenatti, and he has spoken with Tyler Stevens Clemens, and you notice up toward the head of the stretch on the infield, there is Tyler Stevens Clemens, and he is standing by patiently, waiting to hear the outcome of the claim of foul that has been lodged, and he was taken a two-way radio by our own Kelly Siebert. She handed off a two-way radio to Tyler. He moved away from these infield loudspeakers. Tyler wasn't really wanting to hear that particular conversation at that particular time that you and I were having, Scott, and we understand. He's got other things on his mind right now, but he is patiently awaiting the judge's ruling. As we await the ruling and as the deliberations continue, the image here at the Effingham County Fair, regardless of the outcome of this claim of foul, the grassroots environment of the fair, the pageantry of harness racing, the colors that the drivers wear, and then seeing a driver, at a pari-mutuel, a driver would be standing, talking on a phone to the stewards somewhere off camera, and here you see a driver who takes his horse out to the infield and lets the horse kind of stand there and rest, standing on the grass near the top of the stretch. Tyler now gets onto the race bike with his feet slung off to the left side, just waiting to see what's the ruling going to be. But the relaxed atmosphere of the county fair, even when, yes, it's still serious business. I don't care what level of racing it is. You take a claim of foul seriously, you process it accordingly, but the overall environment at a county fair, the grassroots surroundings, the grass on the infield, we talked about the cornfield on the backstretch, it is just a magnificent backdrop for racing, no matter if there's a claim of foul or not. Scott, I've told you before, I don't care what sport it is or what the situation is, I'm a big due process guy. There is a process for handling these situations, so if a driver lodges a claim of foul, very much within the rights of Wyatt Avenatti, he relayed it through two-way radio through our starter down in the south turn, made the judges aware. They were able to talk to both drivers by two-way radio, so the due process is in motion, and we'll get the result in just a moment. And Scott, we have the ruling, no change in the result, no action taken, no change. So the result will stand. Hey Freaky is now the official winner of race 5 and is on his way back to the winner's circle. Springfield native Tyler Stevens Clemens in the black and gold driving colors brings this pacer back. And we talked about the fact that Tyler is a former competitor of the Effingham County Fair Amateur Driving Series. And here he comes back into the winner's circle to win the Joe's Pizza blanket. It's official now. How about a hand for Hey Freaky? And that's something else. I love seeing the respect that the horsemen on both sides of this equation have for due process. Whether it's Wyatt Avenatti, Tyler Stevens Clemens, they speak their piece. They understand it's the call of the stewards, and when the stewards rule, they nod their head, they go forward with their day. Chris Sanders, thank you to you and the whole gang at Joe's Pizza of Altamont. Hey Freaky wins the Joe's Pizza blanket. Always amazed at that. This is a fiercely competitive sport, but when a situation comes up where we have to pause for a moment and sort through a few things with a claim of foul, I just love the fact that everyone is a gentleman. We present our case, the judge listens, rules, we go on with the program, and race 5 is official. From the top, Rockin' Legal was the runner-up. Rushville was third, and Hey Freaky was the winner. 33-1 at the quarter, 103-2 at the half, 3/4 and 135. The time for the mile, 2:05 flat, and it reads 2-3 1. Race 6 coming up, scratch number 3, My 409. Now, I know you're excited about the T-shirts, folks, but you pick a winner, players. Heads up. Number 3, My 409 is scratched. A reminder, Matt Avenatti drives the 2. Hey, Beth, Matt Avenatti will be the driver. Scott, you've been waiting for this all day.
David, we got bunched up even more with that because of
that's about how
we
it goes.
Picked. And so,
all within 4 points of each other.
Yeah,
that's pretty
so
impressive.
It is. When you look at how the picks are made, that things are that close as we head into the next race.
I love this slingshot. That is so cool to see. If you can see on the screen there, feed superintendent and fair board member and little Miss Junior out there slinging T-shirts into the crowd for the fans to come to the fair. So you talk about putting on a whole program here at Altamont. They entertain the crowd. If you show up for the fair races in Altamont, you're guaranteed a couple hours of excitement and knowledge and some exciting fun racing.
And like I said, when other tracks are doing less races, they have not changed. They do a whole week's worth. We saw Martinsville add days to their race events there, and maybe it's this thing, it's an inexpensive way to have an event at the fair.
Yeah, putting on horse racing is kind of just one expense, but it's one of those things that they have to get creative here a little bit, maybe use a couple horses twice in the same week or whatnot, but in the event or in the end, it creates a better product for the fans. The fans don't necessarily know this group versus that group of horses. They just know fast races and tight finishes. So, we appreciate everything they do here at the Altamont Effingham County Fair in the way that they promote their horse racing. They're committed to it. All their stuff, even their winter circle, is a permanent structure that's welded together with fencing on it. I mean, nothing is half-butted here. It's all full butt, we'll call it.
Yep, and a great thing that they do here, and a great time for horsemen down here because you have basically 9 days of racing within a small area down here. Yes, you got to transport your horses, but there's a lot of horses within short areas of getting down here.
I know everyone likes to be home in their stall at night, but there was a time when you would just load up your horses and throw some hay and straw in your trailer, and you would stay at this fair all week long. Now, if you might enter your horse to go race at Charleston, you have to ship it up there, a little 45-minute jaunt. But, you stay here in Altamont and you ship to Mount Sterling this weekend, and you kind of went from fair to fair and just stayed on the premises themselves. And that generation's kind of gone, but, it's not a bad way to spend your summer going from fairs and traveling around to the horse races.
Well, David, what I'd like to do now is we saw this last night and kind of explain the thought process. We had horses that were, one horse in particular that was put in a race here, and also when they put in over there. What's the thought process of putting your horse in two different?
It's a lot different than it used to be. In the old days, you actually had to pick up the phone and call the speed office to enter your horse. And, nowadays you get horses double entered a lot. Sometimes you enter two places to see where you fit better, see what horses go where. Some people just sit down at the beginning of the week and enter all their horses every place they can go for the week and kind of just figure out where they can make it, what commitments they can actually show up to. You don't like really doing it that way, but sometimes the necessity dictates that you have to kind of just figure out where you can get in the race, because sometimes it's better to race than to not race. As the horseman trying to race at Springfield and DeQuoin found out with all the rain, sometimes it's better just to get in the box when you can and get those miles in when you can.
So the question is, would you put a horse in both races on purpose and see how the draw comes out and pick the best race for your horse?
You shouldn't do that, but I'm not saying it doesn't happen. You know what I'm saying? And it may not be nefarious in any way, but you should commit to and honor your commitments as a trainer. The trainer responsibility is a big thing they're kind of leaning on right now. But
used to, if you entered a horse into a race, you didn't get your money back, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, you wouldn't even paid it in because you're not there at the race, but if it's a bookkeeper situation, they can deduct it from your payroll or your account or whatnot.
All right, that's that novice question that I've got.
Those are great questions because a lot of our fans don't know things that I don't know.
Did we get a favorite track from anybody out there on the question earlier today? What's your favorite?
I didn't follow through in the
trainer?
chat, but I haven't. Yeah, what's your favorite race track? County Fair racetrack, we said, right? Half-mile oval, not DeQuoin, not Springfield. Those are both fantastic, magical mile tracks. But what's your favorite county fair and why?
In Illinois.
In Illinois, please.
Okay, now I'll add the caveat because I'm going to ask this one probably up front tonight.
Sure.
Of the tracks that no longer have harness racing, what is the track, if there was one track I could reopen and have harness racing tomorrow, what track, county fair track, would you want to have harness racing again?
You had to say county fair. I was going to go Quad City Downs, but that's just me.
That'd be Brad Dye's pick because he used to work up there.
A lot of the folks from the northern area, especially in the western part of the state, raced through there. You know, a lot of young horsemen made their starts there. Hall of Famers like Tom Simmons and Dave McGee, just to name a few. But if I had to pick a county fair, let me go through my brain here. I'm going to be selfish probably and say those local ones. I miss Griggsville. Just where they're in our backyard. I miss have the horse community in Western Illinois being what it was at one time. I love coming down here to Southeast Illinois because these tracks, these fairs have survived the generations, and you still have a couple horses training on these tracks, and you know that does a lot for the community, for the horsemen, and for the fans in that area.
Morgan County used to have it. Western.
I never liked racing there that much. To be honest.
Western fair at Griggsville. Did Pike County ever
Not
have?
that I remember.
Nope. Okay.
We're going to cut to here comes today's sixth race.
You are good, Scott. We know you got a lot going on, and we are back racing. In race number 6, there goes the open maiden pace. Also eligible, Illinois Conceived and Fold, non-winners of 2. A reminder, scratch the 3, my 409, and this is the first mid-bank and trust race. Problems for Dreamer Moose, who broke stride on the first turn. Dreamer Moose made a break and now is racing in last as they head up the backstretch in this 4-horse field, about 15 lengths from front to back. It is A Real Faith, who's the leader for driver Wyatt Avenatti at the quarter, and then his brother Matt Avenatti is second with Hey Beth. They go on by the quarter-mile mark. 32-2, the time for the opening quarter, 32 2/5 seconds. Rock and Roll Playa is racing in third, and then there's a gap of another 10 lengths back to Dreamer Moose. That is the 2-year-old that broke stride after the start down on the south turn. A Real Faith, a 3-year-old Indiana-bred filly, is the leader as they move by the stands here in the home stretch of the first mid-bank and trust of Altamont race. Wyatt Avenatti, a 20-point lead in the championship driver standings over his brother Matt, and they go 1-2, Wyatt and Matt, in this race just past the half. 103 2/5 of a second. Rock and Roll Playa third, and Dreamer Moose last of the 4 as these 4 pacers work their way over to the backstretch. Our thanks once again to Doug McCain's Gourmet Barbecue Sauce sponsoring that Leading Driver of the Week award. And once again, Wyatt is opening up and trying to pad that lead with another win and more points. He's a quarter mile from the finish here with the leader, A Real Faith. The lead is 3.5 lengths. And then Hey Beth in second. 3/4, 1:35 1 minute 35 1/5 seconds. Then there's a gap of 7 more lengths back to Rock and Roll Playa. 25 more lengths back of that one then to the trailer Dreamer Moose. They come off the turn into the stretch. A Real Faith. This will be win number 3 on the day for Wyatt Avenatti out of Cressman, Illinois, winning it here in the first mid-bank and trust race with A Real Faith. Won it by 7 lengths. It was Hey Beth across the line in second, then a gap of 8 more lengths to Rock and Roll Playa third, and Dreamer Moose finished in fourth. 2:03 4 was the time for the mile. 2:03 4/5 of a second.
Congratulations to the race winner of number 6 race. Number 1, A Real Faith. This 3-year-old filly by Real Desire is owned and trained by Doug Graham of Springfield, driven today quite capably by Wyatt Avenatti. Got some fans in the chat talking about their favorite county fair tracks. We have some good
Today's 6th race brought to you by our friends at First Mid Bank and Trust. They are the blanket sponsor. Their Altamont location, located on West Washington. They have sponsored a lot of events here at the fair over the years. The Horsemen's Cookouts from time to time, the Horsemen's Banquets during the off-season. They've always been willing to help with events at the Effingham County Fair and to loan a hand to the harness horsemen's community. We do appreciate Wyatt Avenatti already had a 20-point lead in the championship driver standings, and he has just padded that lead. You know, that's not a very brotherly thing to do, Mr. Avenatti, when your brother Wyatt's trying to chase you down, but all is fair when it comes to the battle for that leading driver award, and he smiles and nods his head. How about a hand for Wyatt? 3 wins on the day. And Wyatt is a third-generation horseman. We talked about the fact his grandfather, Earl Avenatti, age 85, had a horse compete on the card here earlier today. And, of course, his father, David, a trainer and driver in his own right. And Wyatt and Matt, and also their brother Lane, have carried on that family tradition. Now, the winning owner-trainer is Doug Graham, a native of Salem, who now makes his home in Springfield. This winning filly, an Indiana bred by Real Desire, and this filly bred by Gary Miller of Indiana. First career win for this filly, and again, the time for the mile, 2:03 and 4/5 of a second. There's the winning owner-trainer, Doug Graham, sharing a word and a smile trackside with Wyatt Avenatti as they get ready to head back to the stable area down in the south turn. Doug, Wyatt, congratulations on the win. Well done. Here's the full field rundown. It's official for that 6th race. From the top, A Real Faith was the winner. Hey Beth was the runner-up. My 409 was scratched. Dreamer Moose finished 4th. Rock and Roll Playa was 3. 32 and 2 at the quarter, 103 and 2 at the half, 3 quarters, 135 and 1, and the time for the mile, 2:03 and 4, with the last quarter in 28 and 3/5 seconds. It reads down 1-2 scratch, 4-3. 7th race on the way, no scratches. A reminder: the driver of the 1, Bourbon Hannah, will be Freddie Patton Jr. Let's.
All right, David, as we look at the point standings here, Lisa got the winner on that one and 1 point for the box. You got 1 point. I got a couple of points. And so then she pulls up in the lead with 56 points. David's 48. I'm at 46, so we're still pretty tight. Each race, it keeps changing, doesn't it, David?
It sure does.
And you can do this at home, too. David puts out the
I got 1 point last time.
Well,
I had the 2 and the 1. That should be 2 points at least.
Oh, okay.
Lisa, if you're listening, he's shaving points over here.
Let me look. The finish was 3-2. Oh, did I goof things up?
There wasn't.
No, 6. Where am I? Race
only
6.
A few horses in. I had to get a point out of something there.
1-2-5 is the finish on that. 1-2-5, and you picked 1-2-3. You get. Wait a second. No, that's not. That's the other race.
While we're doing that, I'll go ahead and look in the chat here. We asked.
Yeah, you got 2 points.
Ask and you shall receive, right? Randall Callahan's confirming what I thought but wasn't sure of. The trainer has a right to enter a horse in both events, but they are responsible for paying that entry fee at both places. Might be hard to get from them if they don't show up to the fair, but it could be advantageous if you say you draw in a 3-horse field going for $3,000 someplace and maybe a 6-horse field going for $1,000 somewhere else. It's worth that entry fee to maybe take that 3-horse field and try to get a bigger chunk of the purse.
I mean, I'm just looking at strategy here because that would be interesting. Because now, when you enter, do you know what the purse money is already when you enter the races?
Usually it's estimated, but it really depends on splits. So if it's the ISA 3-year-old filly pace and they're going for an estimated purse of we'll say $6,000, well, that's fine. But if you put in 6 or 7 horses, you're going to have 2 heats, and they're all going to go for $3,500 each. Less expenses or whatever. So, you don't really have – you have a good idea if you're getting into a stakes or an overnight, but you don't know the actual number per se.
All right. With that, we'll take a break. We'll be right back.
Avenatti Racing, a third-generation, family-run stable with a legacy of excellence. Centrally located between Illinois, Indiana, and Kentucky racing programs, Avenatti Racing specializes in buying yearlings, breaking, training, and racing top-performing standardbreds. Call 217-840-6469 or email avenattiracing@gmail.com today. Avenatti Racing, from yearling to racetrack, we build contenders.
Looking to move your mobile home? Need a roll-off dumpster at a competitive rate? Or maybe it's time to demo that old mobile home? Pine Ridge Mobile Home Transport has you covered. We serve Central Illinois with reliable mobile home transport, offer affordable roll-off dumpsters for the Springfield area, and provide expert demolition services across Illinois and Missouri. For fast, friendly service, call Wayne Decker at 217-313-9744. That's 217-313-9744. Or find Pine Ridge Mobile Home Transport on Facebook, your one-stop solution for mobile home services.
Here at the Effingham County Fair today. In race 7, it says line to be announced for number 1, Bourbon Hannah. Bourbon Hannah had been entered to race yesterday at the Logan County Fair at Lincoln, but regrettably they rained out. So as a result, her past performance lines are current in the track program. Again, that's Freddie Patton Jr., who is in the race bike. Line to be announced for number 2, Hidalgo Otis. That trotter raced here on Sunday, and he won. He won by a pretty big margin, won by 10.5 lengths in a time of 2:11 and a fifth. So Hidalgo Otis coming in off a victory here at the Effingham County Fair during that Sunday opening card. Trainer standings, again the Trainers Award for the week, brought to you by Luke's Bar and Grill of Altamont. The updated standings there through today's 6th race. David Avenatti shows the way with 20 points. The next closest, Harold Finn, the trainer of Hidalgo Otis, and he stands second, Harold does, with 15 points on the week.
All right, David, again, we want to thank our donors. We want to thank our advertisers for helping us out and keeping this on the air for free for you to watch. And we've said this before, if you've been watching all year, figure out what it would have cost you in the county fairs and what it would have cost for travel and so forth. We've saved that for you. If you'd like to continue to keep this for free, send David either through Venmo or through PayPal. You can send him money like that. You can give him an old-fashioned check in the mail at the address on your screen, or you can see Lisa or him or myself in that. And I see Tyler Clements is back after his big win over there.
Well, you were asking for favorite tracks, and we've had some in the chat. I don't want to ignore them. We asked, and Al Brodsky said one of his favorites, Ogle County. I don't remember Ogle County where that's at, but he went on to say, if I can scroll down here far enough, Ogle County has the Laredo Tat sculpture visible from the racetrack high above the river. The track's surrounded with trees, some maybe 200 to 300 years old. I'm guessing beautiful area. That sounds like maybe Woodstock. Help me out, Al, on that one. I'm not positive. Or Pecatonica maybe or something. It's up there in the north. But either way, sounds like a beautiful track to race at as well. We're getting some votes for the Albion Fair in Edwards County. A lot of spectacular names have come off of that oval for sure. Bridget's in the chat saying she misses Griggsville also. Parimutuel she misses would be Balmoral, Quad Cities, and Fairmont. I think the whole west side of the state misses those tracks for sure. Nope. We've got some Alejandro watching from Venezuela. I don't speak Spanish, so if anyone wants to translate for me and help me out, I'd sure appreciate it. And Deb Ham,
translation key there for you on that?
I was looking it up. I didn't want to figure out how to mess with the stuff. Deb Ham's watching from back home, Mount Sterling. And Karen Stewart, our new friend, says she wishes they would open up Albion and Edwards County. Really a fast track. Always fast times, and her favorite track was Pickneyville down there by DeCoin. First races of the year, and everyone with a 2-year-old's debut. That's kind of what we remember about Griggsville, Karen, is the Griggsville Fair. Those of you remember the backstretch over there, the park, we'd throw out a blanket and get fried chicken and kind of have a picnic to see the horses make their 2-year-old debuts. Always a fun time. We'll throw it back to Kurt for today's 7th race.
But thank you. It's always good to double check. Horses are at the gate, and the gate is rolling for race 7. Number 1 is Bourbon Hannah. This is the open maiden trot, again a maiden, a non-winner of a purse race. So how does the 2 Hidalgo Otis get in there? Well, at time of entry, as an Illinois bred, at time of entry, he was a non-winners of 2. Keep in mind they had to enter by 10 a.m. on Saturday, and he did not get his second win until Sunday. So that is the standard. What was the horse's status at time of entry? And that's how Hidalgo Otis, despite the fact he is now an Illinois conceived and foaled horse that is a 2-time winner, he was not a 2-time winner when he was entered on Saturday. So that's why he's in the lineup. Bourbon Hannah, Freddie Patton Jr., Hidalgo Otis, Harold Finn Jr., your driver, Battleshoe Jason, Clay Simpson in the race bike, top of the stretch. Here they come, race 7. If harness racing rules sound complicated, they are. Here they come, race 7. They are off and trotting. There goes Bourbon Hannah out for the early lead. Battleshoe Jason comes away in the second position, and Hidalgo Otis is out racing in third as they head down into the first turn. Hidalgo Otis just going to comfortably settle in at the back as these 3 work off the south end of the course and onto the back stretch. As Bourbon Hannah shows the way with Battleshoe Jason moving up on the outside now, and Battleshoe Jason puts a head in front to the midpoint of the back stretch, headed toward that quarter-mile mark. Bourbon Hannah is racing in second, then a gap of 4 more lengths back to Hidalgo Otis, who travels in third. They go on by the quarter. Battleshoe Jason has now made the top clear and has the lead. The opening quarter, 34 seconds flat for that first quarter. Battleshoe Jason is the leader. 4 career starts before today for that 2-year-old Illinois bred. Battleshoe Jason looking for a first lifetime win. And so far has things well in hand. In fact, has opened up on a 10-length lead. Now that's why Hidalgo Otis is starting to move. Harold Finn Jr. says, don't want to let that leader get too far away. So here comes Hidalgo Otis from third up to at least challenge for second alongside of Bourbon Hannah, and ultimately hoping to track down that leader, Battleshoe Jason, who's already moving through the south turn. 104-2, the time for the first half mile. 104-2. Battleshoe Jason, Clay Simpson out of Fairfield, Illinois, in the red and gray driving colors, has the lead up the backstretch, but Hidalgo Otis closing ground with every stride. If you played Hidalgo Otis and pick a winner, you've got a big chance because he has caught the leader. Hidalgo Otis coming after Battleshoe Jason at the 3-quarter. They were there in 137 and 2. 137 and 2/5. It is side by side for the lead. Now Battleshoe Jason, give that 2-year-old credit. He's not going away that easily. He's still got the lead by almost a full length. Here comes Hidalgo Otis again. Who's it going to be, folks? Will it be Battleshoe Jason? Will it be Hidalgo Otis on the grandstand side? Jason prevails. Battleshoe Jason wins it by a length and a half on the line. Hidalgo Otis, he made a race of it, but he had to settle for second. He gave it his all, just couldn't quite get there. And again, give credit to Battleshoe Jason for a 2-year-old making his first or fifth start. Pretty impressive performance. 2:07 and 1 was the time for the mile. 2:07 and 1/5. We'll meet the winner in just a moment.
Al Brodsky's in the chat correcting my incorrect statement, saying Ogle County's up in Oregon. I totally forgot that. Thanks, Al, for getting that, but it sounds like a beautiful place. Kind of far from home, but maybe if they race there sometime in the future, we could send Harness Tube up for a broadcast. But in the meantime, let's congratulate the winner of today's 7th race, Battleshoe Jason. This horse owned, trained, and driven by, and bred, by Clay, along with his father, Buddy Simpson from Fairfield, Illinois. Had me fooled. I completely I messed this race up big time, but I just was thinking that, a younger horse, and maybe I thought maybe the older horse would have a little more, stay flat on a half-mile track on these county fair races. Sometimes staying flat's all it takes to win, but Clay Simpson is a heck of a horseman, and even though his young gelding trotter...
Well, let's take a glimpse into the mind of a horseman. If you're Clay Simpson and you've got this 2-year-old Battleshoe Jason, and on Saturday morning by 10 a.m. he had to make a decision. This Illinois-bred 2-year-old as an Illinois bred, is qualified to have raced in the first race today, the stake race that went for a lot more money. That first race went for a purse of over $5,000. But if you're Clay Simpson and you're trying to make a decision on Saturday morning and you're saying, you know, this horse just made a break, he got beat nearly 20 lengths his last start, let's drop him down a notch in class and try to get a win. Hey, that part of the strategy worked. But the old what-if game, did you realize this horse, this 2-year-old, trotted nearly 2 seconds faster than the winner of that $5,000 purse in the 2-year-old trot in race 1? Clay is smiling, and Clay,
he knows what he has.
You don't have a crystal ball, right? I mean, how could you know how things were going to go when you entered on Saturday? I'll tell you this, folks. I'll guarantee you, Clay Simpson's not worried about that. He's glad to see this 2-year-old take a step forward. Congratulations. How about a hand for the winner, Battle Shoe Jason? And there's Leah Ring, our junior miss, assisting Dean and Kelly with the presentation of the Effingham County Fair blanket. Clay's late father, Buddy Simpson, was an Illinois Hall of Fame horseman. The term Battle Shoe is the Simpson family stable name in honor of Buddy, Clay's late father, who was a Korean War veteran and also a horseshoer, hence the term Battle Shoe. Clay, thanks for coming to race with us, and congratulations on the win with Battle Shoe Jason. Yeah, again, we talked about it on Sunday. These horsemen, especially with 2-year-olds, yeah, there's always a what-if, I suppose, but they're just glad to see these 2-year-olds keep improving. Here's the full field rundown. Bourbon Hannah was third. Hidalgo Otis, the runner-up, and Battle Shoe Jason was the winner. 34 seconds at the quarter, 104 and 2 at the half. 3 quarters, 137 and 2. And the time for the mile, 207 and 1/5.
Bring ourselves back.
It reads down
after today's 7th race. In the chat over here, Al Brodsky says also Jesse James was known to have raced his horse at Ogle up in Oregon over 100 years ago. The infamous, we'll call him bank robber or whatever you want to have, but it wasn't a harness horse, but he raced probably quarter horse or saddlebred of some sort. But that's pretty cool.
Well, he knew something about fast horses, didn't he?
He knew how to get away from the cops for sure. Also in the chat here, Karen, our new friend, has a great story. She says, Griggsville was great. She says, we won there with our trotter, Katie's Josh and You, named for her niece and nephew. And there was a little girl named Katie watching from the grandstand that day. She got her picture taken in the winner's circle. And I tell you what, that little girl, who's probably an adult now, probably still remembers that. And those are the kind of memories that can create horse racing fans for a lifetime. So we thank your family for including her. We thank you for sharing that memory. All good things to keep horse racing and keep the promotion going and moving forward in the future.
Well, looks like the race for us here got tighter. Lisa got 5 points. You got, because we picked the other, 3, 2, 1. We got the third place horse right, so we both collected 5 points. You collected 3 points, so a couple more points.
No.
Lisa got, right?
I had the 2 horse right.
Oh, that's right.
Lisa shaving points again. I'm telling on him.
Goodness gracious. I don't know what's going on here. I think
you want to beat me so bad. You're shaving.
I'm going to blame it on the heat.
Oh, fair enough.
Blame it on the heat.
So we'll add, 5 to myself
5
there?
to you. So that gets you 2 points more. 54.
54. Wait.
Yeah.
You went from 2 to 7, so I should have 5 more.
No, 3 points.
No.
And then 2 for the box. 3 points for
the winner. The winner gets a point because I had them third.
Yeah.
Second place horse I had second. I get 5. Third place horse I had
you
winning.
got that right?
So the second place you get 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3.
Oh, goodness gracious. I really screwed up on that. I'm going, I didn't get it. So we got 9 points for you.
You're counting me out just because I didn't get the right one on top.
Well, that's going to change everything, Lisa. I tried to help you out, but it wasn't.
He said it on air. He's trying to help you out. I'm hearing it.
Yep. Absolutely.
We're having fun here, though. It's a nice
race 8, right?
Yeah, we're looking ahead at race 8.
I'm just going to scratch everything I have written down there. I'm glad. Usually I'm pretty good at this, but yeah, today is starting to get to me.
These long hours and hot days will wear anybody out for sure. Good to see those Lions vests over there. Scott Beal has I wasn't sure if that was a Boy Scout troop over there running the Pick Winner contest, but they are working their little tails off, going up and down that bleachers of the big grandstand across the way over here in Altamont. 61, Lisa. There we go. 58, me, and 51, Steve. So
I'm
we're
10 behind.
within
One race could change
within
everything.
10 points top to bottom. Absolutely. You know, and it
now that
tends
that's
to
corrected,
flip flop.
Now that the race police have taken care of my scoring, we'll move on to a commercial. We'll be back.
Has got.
Yoder Custom Woodworking was started in 1995 by the Yoder family as a retail Amish furniture store in Sullivan, Illinois. They offer custom kitchen cabinets, granite and quartz countertops, built-in office and bathroom cabinetry, and offer a wide range of Amish furniture. Their store is located at 1117 West Jackson Street in Sullivan, Illinois, with store hours Tuesday through Friday 9 to 4:30 and Saturday 9 to 3. For more information, contact Yoder Custom Woodworking at 217-728-2166.
2024 Illinois County Fair Training Champion. Kev Miller's horses are built to win, and it all starts here. Ready to join a winning team? Call Kev at 217-254-0170 or send a message to the email address on the screen to learn more. Kev Miller Stables. Train to win.
I'll bring us back up while Kurt's going through some dialogue, talking about some local legends of the Altamont area and some of his Sky High School buddies. But are we looking ahead at 8 yet? Are we there? Or that's where I'm
we
looking.
should
Steve.
be at 8.
Fine racing day here in Altamont. The breeze is picking up. Nice sunny day. I tell you what, folks, if you're anywhere down in this area, you need to experience Altamont racing. It's a whole day experience. You know, it's a couple hours. It's like a ball game, but it's entertainment top to bottom between Scott and Kurt and the T-shirt, not Cannon T-shirt, Slingshot. They did put on a heck of a program over here and a lot of fast races. You know, every horse is taking new lifetime marks, and we're seeing 2-year-olds pace in 2-1 and trot in 2-7. So a testament to the track crew here at Effingham County and the job that they do.
Absolutely. It's just a beautiful day for racing, and I see people fanning themselves. Now, I want you to notice something. Where's the one spot you might see a couple of people fanning, but where's the one spot that people are not fanning?
Top back row.
That's right. Back there at the top of that row, they're still getting a good breeze back there.
Those patrons who filed in early to get those good seats at the top, they are the ones who are still sitting up there. You know, they're comfortable.
We'll find out how cool it was there from Lisa or how uncool it was.
We'll get a full scoop report for sure.
And we'd love to hear your memories or your favorite fair event.
We got
non-traditional, and I'm looking for favorite.
Yeah, Bridget's in the chat here saying her favorite memory of Griggsville would be when her dad was a catch driver. He went to drive and they had inner tubes around the horse's legs. That was a pacer, and he usually drove trotters. Yeah, you know, back in the old days, they got kind of clever with their rigging. I remember some homemade bits coming out of the Harvey Bowen stable. I remember back in the days when they used to cross hobbles on trotters, which sounded like a nightmare to me, but they did a lot of crazy things back in the day to get these horses rigged the way they wanted them to. So it's always funny to hear those old stories and old memories. Keep them coming, because I guarantee if I'm enjoying it, then I know a lot of the other horse fans out there are as well. So we appreciate everyone following along and offering their 2 cents into this broadcast.
And we had a great picture of a baby watching Harness Tube today. We really like that. Keep those coming, folks.
Little baby Parker, yeah. If you're having a watch party, if you're watching at home, get those shots sent in. It might seem silly or whatever to take a picture from inside your house, but I promise you, the horsemen like seeing that other people are excited to watch them. They like seeing that this thing is growing and taking some wings. So to see some familiar faces out there. We like to hear those names like Danny Clark up north in Mineral Point, Wisconsin. You know, those kind of folks who have followed along on Harness Tube. We want you to reach out, send in pictures, watch parties, invite neighbors over, you know, the whole shebang.
Absolutely. Hey, it's hot. and you're looking, what can I do on a hot night? I just really don't want to do anything. Invite some friends over.
Yeah.
Now, this would be my wife's idea, okay? I'm going to pin this on Lisa, not me. Invite some friends over, make some frozen margaritas or slushies or something.
Adult ices, slushies.
Adult ices. Sit down, and you can do a point system like us where you get 10 points for first, 5 for second, 3 for third if you count them right, unlike me. Or if you get it in the box, you get 1 point for each one of those. And so with that, you might want to do that. We'll go back to Kurt.
Is Man Against Crime, owned by Josetta Sanders of Forest, Mississippi, trained by Roshan Trigg, Kajavian J.J. Carter in the bike. 3, Rock On Big Star, is owned by Jerry Blunt of Clinton, Mississippi, trained by Tyler Stevens Clemens. It is Jordan Patton in the race bike, contrary to the program. Blanket sponsor, once again, the Effingham County Fair. A reminder, the Queen Pageant and the Little Miss Pageant coming up tonight at 7 o'clock. Here they come, race 8. They are off and pacing. Stellar BB grabs the racetrack and goes out for the lead. Rock On Big Star is away in the second position as they head down into the first turn. And Man Against Crime will be last of the 3 as they swing by the stable area and work over toward the backstretch after the opening 1/8 of a mile. Stellar BB is the leader. Stellar BB on top by a length and a half. Rock On Big Star right behind the leader in second position. And Man Against Crime will follow closely from that third position as they move up the backstretch, working from south to north up toward that upper turn as Stellar BB is the leader. Stellar BB by just 1 length, 33 seconds flat for the opening quarter, 33 seconds flat. It is Rock On Big Star in the second spot. Man Against Crime is racing in third as they approach the 3/8 mile park and scoot on past it here in race number 8. So no change in the order, nobody stepping out of line. Stellar BB is the leader. Stellar BB on top by just 1 length. Rock On Big Star is second, a length and a half. And Man Against Crime still there, still waiting, still third. As again, it's nose to tail, single file formation as they move past the stands with encouragement from the crowd, which applauds for these 3 horses and drivers. 105 and 2 for the first half mile, 105 and 2. It is Stellar BB who is the leader as they swing around that south turn one more time and head for the backstretch. Rock On Big Star is still in that second position. Man Against Crime is in third. Now here's the challenge for the lead. Rock On Big Star takes to the outside of Stellar BB, and Stellar BB responds. Stellar BB opens back up by a length. The advantage was down to about a half length, but now it's back out to a length and a half for Stellar BB into the final turn off 3/4 in 137 and 1. Stellar BB, Jaquavian Carter in the black, Kelly green, and white driving colors leads it. Rock On Big Star in second, and here comes J.J. Carter with Man Against Crime. These 3 horses line up across the track off the final turn. Stellar BB is chased by Man Against Crime. The Carter brothers battling for the win. And it is Man Against Crime on the grandstand side from last to first to win it. Kajavian J.J. Carter gets the best of his brother Jaquavian Carter. Man Against Crime just gets up in the final strides to win in a time of 2:05 and 4. 2:05 and 4/5 of a second. Number 2, Man Against Crime, your winner.
What a finish in today's 8th race. I'm not sure if you're out there watching Mama Carter, but the boys were 1-2, and JJ giving Fat Man a little glance as they approach the wire. Their little fun camaraderie among brothers. Happy to see those 2 out there having fun and give us an exciting finish. When they turned for home, the grandstand kind of came alive. I think they knew what was going on with the brothers competing for a tight photo finish. And they kind of jumped up to their feet and had a good time cheering for them. There we go. Kenya's in the chat. We got some love from some family out there. Good to see young drivers out here having fun, competing with each other, and getting their teeth cut on the Illinois Fair Circuit to become greater, bigger, better things in the horse industry. Good to see Barry Bell out there in the winner's circle with Cornelius Cavett. Boo. Real quick, I think I'll bring a memory of
It was just a couple of weeks ago that Kajavian J.J. Carter got his first career victory. 22 years of age, comes to us out of Mississippi. He got that first career win at the DeWitt County Fair at Farmers City and set the all-age track record in the process that night, driving a horse named Heavy Pressure, also trained by Mr. Roshan Trigg. So J.J. Carter, I mean, if you're going to get your first win, why not do it in style and break the track record? That's just what happened at Farmers City. Different horse here today. Not a track record today, but you know what? Another win today for this young, aspiring, up-and-coming horseman. How about a hand for Kajavian J.J. Carter? And a nice pat on the shoulder from Barry Bell of Windsor, who moves in to join him trackside. There's the Effingham County Fair blanket. Again, our thanks to the Fair Board, to Dean Weatherall and the whole crew and all they do for racing every year at the fair, as Dean and Kelly make the presentation to our winning connections. Man Against Crime is a 4-year-old gelded son of Captain Treacherous, so a Pennsylvania bred, which is owned by Joetta Sanders of Forest, Mississippi, and J.J. Carter in the bike today for trainer Roshan Trigg. 4th career win for that pacer, and again the time 2:05 and 4. Judge, are we official? He says we are. Thank you, Gene Melville. Here is the full field rundown. Stellar BB, the runner-up. Man Against Crime, the winner. Rock On Big Star was 3rd. 33 seconds at the quarter, 1:05 and 2 at the half. 3 quarters, 1:37 and 1/5. The time for the mile, 2:05 and 4/5 of a second. It reads down 2:13. Final race of the day, the free-for-all trot coming up, brought to you by Dale Weatherall Construction of Stewardson. Driver of the 4 Fox Valley Quest will be Wyatt Avenatti. Wyatt Avenatti is the driver of number 4 Fox Valley Quest, a trotter that won here on Sunday afternoon. So keep that in mind. Fox Valley Quest was a winner here on Sunday. Let's go back to Scott. Make plans now to attend the 27th Annual Illini Classic Yearling Sale, which takes place on Labor Day at the Illinois State Fairgrounds in Springfield. Once again this year, the catalog will offer not only a strong lineup of Illinois-conceived and foaled yearlings, but also an excellent supporting cast of colts and fillies eligible to other state-bred programs in the Midwest and on the Eastern Seaboard. It's the Illini Classic Yearling Sale, Monday, September 1st, beginning at 11 a.m. Central.
Kerr Auction is your trusted source for ag equipment, attachments, construction gear, trucks, trailers, and hard-to-find parts. With live and online auctions at kerrauction.com, you can bid from anywhere, field, job site, or front porch. From big equipment to small parts. If you need it, Kerr Auction has it. Don't miss your next deal. Check out kerrauction.com today. Kerr Auction, built for the working world.
All right, David, as we head into race 9, final race of the day, and I think the breeze got better.
The breeze did get better. I'll take it. It's picking up now a little bit, which feels nice on my stuffy pits over here. But we're surviving on the infield. We're doing all right.
Well, if we can move this quick tomorrow, then we'll have about 50 minutes or an hour, let's say an hour, to get over to Charleston. We'll be there by 3. We'll be there in plenty of time.
We'll be good to go then. See, we're on schedule and on time here.
3:30. That'll be plenty early.
You know, looking out at that last winner's circle, good to see Barry Bell out there. And it reminds me of the amateur race we saw last night at Charleston. Barry raced against Marcus Detweiler, young Marcus Detweiler. But speaking of here at Altamont, I'm reminded of a pretty exciting amateur race that was, we'll say, 5-10 years ago now. I don't remember how long ago it's been, but a local horsewoman by the name of Pam Coleman, who those of you are well familiar with, mother of Kyle Husted, sister to Angie Coleman. Jerry Coleman was her dad. From right here in Altamont, she trained a lot of fine horses over her day, worked for Carl Becker right behind us at Fairmeadow Farm on his property over there. But she battled breast cancer about 10 years ago, and right after she was coming out of remission and getting back on her feet, she came out here and raced in the amateur race at Altamont with her war horse, Walter Brown, decked out in pink harness, and she had a pink bandana on that day. Won that in an exciting finish, and the winner's circle photo was just absolutely awesome to see all the family out there in the pink, and see her beat cancer and still be with us today doing well is a pretty awesome moment right here in Effingham County for a local.
For some reason, I didn't get the driver in there.
On this one, who is it?
On this, it's
Wyatt on
Evans.
yeah.
Yep, we'll get that in there. Well, I think we have on all the others. Got it in. But
there's Mama Pebbles saying, "Let's go, Jay." You had a 66% chance of one of your boys winning that race, and you finished 1-2 in it. So congratulations to both the boys. I don't know if I should call them the world-class Carters or the powerful Pattons or whatever, because they're driving Rochon's horses, but they're out of the powerful Patton stables from down there in Clinton, Mississippi.
Absolutely. Let's take a look at it. David, you got them all right that time and swooped up to the lead. I couldn't get that one wrong. It was
when I hit the trifecta, it's kind of hard to ignore,
Lisa
right?
and I didn't do very well in that race there. I think we got 3 points apiece maybe for a box. But, no, Lisa, and so on this race, you and Lisa are going to be the same. So I'm just going to hand the title to you, because if I get 18 points and you guys got 3.
We're still up.
Yeah, that's 15
There's not enough horses for enough variance for us to lose points.
Now, and you know what? I think I was last night also?
I don't remember,
I'm
to be
not
honest.
liking that. No, you were last night.
Oh, probably, yeah.
All right, we'll go back to Kurt real quick.
Time for the mile by our winner, Calico Sunset, back in the second race today. Have heard Scott mention Tom Meyer a couple of times as a winner in the pick-a-winner drawing. Scott and I had a chance to speak with Tom and his wife after the races yesterday. Scott, I just wanted to make clear, if I understood Tom correctly, he really did not want us mentioning that he was a former state champion in the 110 hurdles. Did I understand that correct?
Scott Beal on that, but home track for these guys, David, they're doing a lot of reminiscing out here.
When we have these great announcers like Kurt Becker and such awesome MCs like Tim Wilson or Scott Beal, the banner they create, what we do for Harness Tube is kind of extended here in a live realm for the fans in the grandstand, and it just fills in the time between races. They throw out local names and local memories and sports and stuff, sports teams, and the crowd really appreciates it, and it's a lot of work, but it goes a long way, I think.
Yeah, it does. And with Tim Wilson and Kurt down at Martinsville, you and I don't get to do very much talking.
No, and I tell you what, you weren't there at Lewiston, but I think we have confirmed that we're going to have John Teefy doing it at Brown County. So Ed and John will be working together, and John does a great job to kind of get.
John does a really
John's
good.
hilarious.
He'll be needling his dad all day long.
Absolutely.
There will be some
Tune
banter
in
there.
to Mount, because John is Ed but funnier. So we'll throw it to Kurt. I hear the announcer.
Effingham County Fair, a purse of $1,580, the free-for-all trot. Let's meet the starters as they are at the post for the Dale Weatherall construction of Stewardson Race. Number 1, Dooleyville Lou, is owned by Randall Dooley of Hidalgo, trained by Harold Finn, the driver, Harold Finn Jr. 2, Tank Me to Dennyland, owned, trained, and driven by Dennis Gardner of West Salem. 3, Lou's Mandalorian, races for the Flacco Family Farms of Alexis, Illinois. Dr. Richard and Arlene Flacco, Rick and Tabby Flacco, Jill Brown, the trainer driver. And number 4, Fox Valley Quest, fresh off that win here on Sunday, races for the KC Racing of Beecher City, the trainer Jill Brown, and a reminder, contrary to the program, the driver Wyatt Avenetti, he's back in the bike just as he was here on Sunday. Here they come, race 9. They are off and trotting. There goes Tank Me to Dennyland out for the early lead. Dooleyville Lou comes away in second. Lou's Mandalorian is out third. And Sunday's winner, Fox Valley Quest, last of the 4 here early on. But right there with the other 3 as they work around the south turn. Tank Me to Dennyland opens up on a 3-length lead. Dooleyville Lou will go second up the back straightaway. And then it's Lou's Mandalorian in third position. And Fox Valley Quest is fourth, about 6 lengths off the lead. Tank Me to Dennyland guides the field past the quarter-mile mark. 12 career wins, a big win at DuQuoin last year in a time of 1:54.4. Opening quarter here today, 31 4/5 seconds over this half-mile track, 31-4. It is Tank Me to Dennyland. Dennis Gardner in the royal blue and gray driving colors leads it as they come on down toward the halfway point. About to have a challenge, though, because Lou's Mandalorian is on the move along the outside lane. First up is Lou's Mandalorian to challenge. first, trying to take second. Now has second by 3/4 of a length, and now setting his sights on the leader. To the cheers of the crowd in the grandstand at the Effingham County Fair, Tank Me to Dennyland takes the field back to the south end of the course in 101 and 4/5 of a second. Lou's Mandalorian is there on the outside, and now within a neck of the lead. Dooleyville Lou shuffled back to third, and Fox Valley Quest is still last of the four, but taking to the outside just 3 lengths from the front. There's just over a 1/4 mile to go. Tank Me to Dennyland is your leader by a 1/2 length at the 3/4 mile mark. Lou's Mandalorian is still there on the outside, but still lingering in second position. Dooleyville Lou is racing in third. 3/4 and 133 flat. 3/4, 133 flat. And Fox Valley Quest, last of the four. They turn for home. Here comes Lou's Mandalorian. A final try coming after Tank Me to Dennyland. Dooleyville Lou has to go to the far outside, but still 3 lengths away in third. Tank Me to Dennyland, a short lead from Lou's Mandalorian. Here's the wire. Tank Me to Dennyland wins it by 3/4 of a length. Lou's Mandalorian for Jill Brown got second, and then it was Dooleyville Lou on the far outside in that third position across the wire, and Fox Valley Quest had to settle for fourth. Today, 2:03 and 3, the time for the mile, 2:03 and 3. So we'll meet the winner, Tank Me to Dennyland, who wins the Dale Weatherall construction blanket of Stewardson. We will need the connections of Calico Sunset trackside, Mr. Leroy Hunt. We would like to have you trackside for the special presentation for fastest mile of the day as the owner-trainer of Calico Sunset. Again, that award courtesy of Circle L Walking Horses. And Scott's going to have more drawings in the grandstand. So stay with us, folks. Still got a few things to do before we wrap up.
We're going to end the note in the card on a tight finish. Take Me to Dennyland. Owned, trained, and driven by Dennis Gardner, holding off Lou's Mandalorian and Jill Brown for Flacco Family Farms in a, we'll call it, long head neck win. 2, 3, and 3. Congratulations to the connections making their way back to the winner circle. Now here comes Frank Fisher and Kelly and the golf cart crew from the Effingham County Fair. Good to see Denny Gardner in the winner's circle. There's not much of a more exciting character in the sport.
Well, Tank Me to Dennyland is a trotter that was born and raised at the University of Illinois Horse Farm in Champaign-Urbana. They usually put the name Illini in each horse's name, but when Dennis Gardner bought this trotter, he changed the name to Tank Me to Dennyland. And Dennis Gardner is the owner, the trainer, and the driver. Comes to us out of West Salem. This trotter's been good. 13 career wins, earnings approaching $100,000. Dennis, we've always had a soft spot for this horse. You've had some wonderful horses, including Goomster, the Illinois Horse of the Year. And, you know, we've always said this poor horse had to race in his shadow, so to speak. We would love to have a barn full like this horse. He's been pretty dependable. How about a hand for Tank Me to Dennyland? There's your winner, folks. And there's the Dale Weatherall construction of Stewardson blanket down trackside. And a blanket sponsor at the Effingham County Fair since 2003. Attention to detail, quality craftsmanship, and support every year for over 20 years for racing at the Effingham County Fair. Our thanks to Dale Weatherall Construction. And there is the winner of our final race of the day. Dennis, thanks for coming to race with us. Congratulations, sir. And he raises the whip with his right hand and salutes our racing fans. Judge, are we official? Thank you, Gene Millville. Here's the full field rundown for that 9th race. And then, folks, don't go far because we have drawings coming up in the grandstand, and we still have that Circle L Walking Horses presentation for fastest mile of the day. All right, here's the rundown for race 9. Dooleyville Lou was third. Tank Me to Dennyland was the winner. Lou's Mandalorian, the runner-up, and Fox Valley Quest finished fourth. They got the quarter in 31 and 4/5 seconds. They got the half in 101 and 4. 3/4 in 133 flat. The time for the mile, 2:03 and 3/5 of a second. It reads down 3:124. All right, Scott, take it away.
All right, with that, I found where Hawaiian Avenetti's name ended up somewhere in the middle of that slide. Yeah,
It got moved, huh?
I did put it in there, but apparently the cursor was in the wrong spot. But
That do happen.
David, you finish up the day with the winner with 81 points. Wait for you to go from the bottom to the top the next day. Lisa in second with 69, and me with a mere 61 points, which means David extended his lead here that we have for the whole year. I'll just give those points real quick. David, 1781. I've got 1671, and Lisa, 1678.
You guys are about neck and neck all season long. No matter who wins or loses, you two stay pretty consistent.
Yeah, we do. And so with that, let's just talk about where they can see us, and then we're going to get off the air and go find someplace cool, David.
Absolutely. We'll finish up here with our schedule. We're going to be back here at Altamont tomorrow at 12 o'clock post time. Again, we'll be on the air a little bit about 11:30. After that card, we're going to rush over to Charleston and hit the Charleston card tomorrow afternoon for the Illini Stakes. Should be some exciting racing at the Coles County Fair. We're back here on Thursday at noon again. Back at Charleston at a 12:30 post Friday. Then we head home. We're going to be at Mount Sterling Saturday and Sunday, topped off by that exciting Downstate Classic card on Sunday. After that, we have a couple-week layoff. We're going to Morrison on the 16th for a 12 p.m. post, and finishing the season at Pana on the 30th and 31st.
All right, with that, David, we'll see them in
the winner's circle.
All right, with that, good night, goodbye, and God bless.
Cheers.